And as we step on the mic, man, you notice the difference. Heavenly blessed with the melanin, baby, you know that we winning. No time for the long talk, got 120 on the clock. Wednesday 8 through 10, all the bad vibes better stop. Cause you gotta come with that energy. Casual convos, baby, come down and just sit with me. Lil' Coco be spitting that remedy. Casual convos, baby, come down and just sit with me. You better take this shit serious. She dropping knowledge on head and it's free for the play. Tap in right now if you curious. We got the ham radio going lit every A. We go from people to family to pilots. Stay with me if you got something to say. You know it's important if we go acknowledge. Speak on the business and get out the way. What you gonna say about my mama? She winning, you rockhead.
Well, welcome to the Casual Convo show where we have conversations that affect the communities, personal and business relationships. We always have the casual convo so you don't have to have the tough convo. And with me tonight is my infamous, the handsome, the multi-talented artiste, DJ extraordinaire, Boscoe from the Bronx.
What up? What up? What up? Can you hear me?
Did I do good?
I guess you did all right.
All right.
Nah, you did good. You did good.
Okay. So
see, I got my little mic hooked up. I got my turntables hooked up. I'm trying to get professional.
I gotta catch up.
I told y'all last week, I said, yo, I'm about to do this like I'm trying to be like Rich, man.
I mean, we all trying to be like Rich. I like that one though. It make me it remind me of the mics they use when they do what is it called? What T-Pain and them do.
Auto tune.
Yeah. They look like one of them mics.
Oh nah, it's just a boom, so it don't be popping, you know. Yeah. Now I've had this mic for a while. I just hadn't used it in I don't know, a few years. Since I stopped DJing, I hadn't used it. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So you know what we're talking about today?
Independent women. I'm all for this one here.
Okay, so just a heads up. So this is what happened with this topic. Mm-hmm. A woman actually asked me to talk about this, not a guy, which I thought was rather interesting to say the least. I guess it was let's just see if people still go through the same things I go through, or what could it possibly be, type thing. Yeah. I think it's going to be really interesting. So I guess if you want to start, but like when you think of an independent woman, what do you think of as a man?
Someone who's self-sufficient, who basically is self-sufficient. They can do things, you know, they're responsible for that. You know, they can just do things that need to be done. You don't have to say. It's hard to really explain, but I just see someone who can take care of their business. You know, they don't need to rely on anyone. Yeah, you know, they're taking care of business. They working or whatever, just handling business. You know, self-reliant. You know, but you know, I got a butt to that. It's one of them big old butts. I think what a lot of people, they get independence mixed up with I'm grown, because, and I see, and this is why I have an issue with the feminists, some feminists, because they had some of these women calling themselves independent, but the thing about it is they turning these women into bitches. And when I say bitches, I don't mean like on the whole sense. I mean like, I don't need no man, but this attitude, like the hell with a man, you know. I'm independent. Yeah, you're independent, but you're arrogant also. So you can be independent and still have a good attitude. And I think with the feminists, they got these independent women becoming to the point where they're unbearable. Well, I can't deal with this chick. You know, I can't deal because she feels like, okay, I got my own money. You got your own money, cool. But they floss it like some of the dudes do with female. I got my own money. I got this. I don't need you. Then why do you want me to pursue you? You know, why do you want me to come after you? What is it with me that you need? Being you got all of this, why do you need me? Obviously, something's missing. And if that piece is missing, then you need to change your attitude and stop acting like it's all about you. Because if it's going to be you and me, it's about us, not you. You know. So yeah, you got independence, and you got arrogance.
Is it my go?
When I say it is, yeah, go ahead.
I know you. We're not
Yeah, go
gonna
ahead.
have an online domestical.
I'm trying to lock my mic. I'm trying to use my mic. Nah, go
I
ahead.
think I'm gonna let you use it.
Nah, go ahead.
Um,
You good?
I think you did touch on something that I did want to speak on was
Mm-hmm.
the attitude of an alleged, and I say alleged because
Mm-hmm.
I think the confusion of independent
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna wake up and be a bitch today,
Yeah.
or I don't even want to say it's headstrong or confident. It's just some people confuse being a bitch, being
Mm-hmm.
nasty, being ignorant
Mm-hmm.
with I'm bossed up or I'm independent or you
Yeah.
walking around just screaming how independent you are. To me that just says how vulnerable you are. So I
Right.
think it's kind of that read between the line independent thing, because most women who are independent and doing everything solely on their own, they just don't walk around saying, oh, I'm doing this by myself, I'm doing it. They just do.
Let's do it.
You
Right.
know what I mean? They don't, and I feel like they are also humble.
Yep.
There's a level of humbleness that come with a woman of that has independence. So I think we as society, and especially we as a community, should be more mindful of how we label certain things. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that independent woman thing is one that I would want to be cautious of how that woman is labeled, because
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to run into two that's the same, but for some reason it's like anything else that's negative is going to get the shine. So
Mm-hmm.
you got these women who are just being nasty for no reason and
Mm-hmm.
screaming I'm independent, but no, there's some underlying issues going on.
Right. I agree.
That's
100%.
what I say.
I agree. 100%.
But I did some little if I go by what Google says an independent woman is, we gotta break it down. So got LVs, we gonna go with something, not biased. So it says a woman who supports herself on her own entirely and is proud to be able to do so could
Mm-hmm.
be seen as being independent. An independent woman knows what she feels, says what she really believes, and lives true to her own values. She owns her own power and looks out for herself.
Yeah. Self-reliant, confident.
So do you think this is one of my random questions. It wasn't there. So with that being said, if I want to say um,
Mm-hmm.
we can be so in tuned in our own values, and I'm gonna say that because I've been put in that category, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think one thing, if we stay true in our own values and everything is in our own,
Mm-hmm.
that can also be a negative, because it's
Yeah.
kind of like, do you think women who are proclaimed to be independent, they have issues with vulnerability?
Yeah. Not
Wow.
all, but yeah, some do. Um, my daughter's mother, my youngest,
Uh-oh.
most independent person I've seen, I've met in my life, and I'm not just saying that because she's my daughter's mother. When we met, she was doing her thing, and we both sacrificed our life to say, okay, bits of parts of our life to say, okay, let's do this. But once we got together, we realized we weren't really sacrificing. We were putting in what we knew, and we just adjusted. We know the flaws on both sides, and I think a lot of them are a lot of not every woman, because I don't want anyone to think that I'm going at every black woman or anyone. No, because I'm not at all. I'm not even going to put a percentage on it. But I say a lot of women, maybe not half, but a lot of women, I see them vulnerable in terms of they have this bravado or whatever about them. Like, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a boss bitch, I'm this and I'm that. And it's like they're really boosting their self-confidence up more than what it really is. Because they're
Right.
really not that tough person, you know. They're not. And they want you to think that way. And like it goes back to, like I said, we talked about social media. social media has women thinking this way. Like, okay, I'm this and I'm that. Like I'm not gonna say her name because I respect her. But she doesn't have much. But on social media,
She got
she
everything.
portrays this, yeah, like I'm this high value person. If you
Mhm.
want me, you have to be this, you have to be that. But I say to myself, what is it that makes you high value? Because you can cook, I mean, like you got a degree, okay, so be it. I got 2 degrees and I
Mhm.
can cook and I can clean and I can shop and I can do a girl's hair. So what are you bringing to the table that makes you so independent and high value that I can't do for myself? And see, a lot of women think that way, but they say we as men have to be more than what we are to this high value independent woman. But when you say something like that, these women say, "Oh, you're just scared of a strong woman." No, I'm not scared of a strong woman. I just don't want to have to deal with the bullshit you bring in with this attitude like you're better than me. Oh, well, what they say, hit dogs cry, whatever. No, I'm kicking to you. And see, I hate that because see, when us men say that, okay, we're not dealing with this nonsense. Oh, you just scared of a strong black woman. No, I'm not. My mother was a strong black woman. I didn't fear her. I fear what she could do to me because that was my mother. But other than that, no, I didn't fear her. Because she would
So
tell me, huh?
what about the woman that's not that doesn't fit that narrative, or the one who may be a little humble, or
Hmm.
you may say, okay, yeah, she's independent. She may not brag about it. She may not do. Do you think that that's a woman that could be vulnerable?
Kinda, because kind of. I mean, I think everyone has some type of vulnerabilities. I think kind of because maybe because she's so low key, she hasn't dealt with that type of drama or
Right.
or that type of aggression by somebody. But then again, you have some people who are humble and low key like that, who are beasts where you're not going to push them around. They just don't display that animal in them until you got
Right.
to pull that animal out of them. And hopefully you don't have to. Hopefully they stay that calm animal where you can say, okay, she's nice. I'm going to do this for her. I'm going to do that for her. Blah 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 blah. So I think everyone has a weakness. You know, and you have some guys, and I'm always gonna go at the guys too. You have some guys who look for that weakness and they attack it. You know.
Okay. So, all right. So, with that being said, so
Hmm.
okay, let's say you're into something, you get to know somebody. She's allegedly this independent woman.
Hmm.
Um, how do you think? Are there any benefits? Like, are there any like good things about dealing with an independent woman? Because we always hear like the negative things. Like, for instance, she could be a person that's used to making decisions, especially hard decisions. Not afraid to step up and make a decision if you can. So I think certain things that come with independence also helps you to be able to navigate. And if you have to step up within your relationship or
Hmm.
partnership or whatever you may have,
Hmm.
you can do so.
Hmm.
And it's not just like, okay, we just going, do this. So my
Hmm.
thing is, what are some good things that you could say? I haven't heard a lot this week, but
Oh, there he is.
oh,
That's no, that's Julie. Hey, my internet wife. How you doing? Anyway, you too, Coco. Both of y'all. I had both of y'all. I had my own little,
we're
I had my
not
own
in
little
the
error. Anyway, we'll talk about that another day. But check this out. I think with her, with an independent woman, everything you said, she's used to making decisions on her own. Blah 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 blah. And I think with her, um, you can sit her down. It all goes with the attitude. Hey, see, that's what I'm talking about. I love this woman. I want to see that black lipstick she be wearing. Anyway, we don't get sidetracked. Um, I think everything comes with attitude. What type of attitude this person has. You got the badass attitude who wants to be the boss bitch, and you got the one woman who says, "Hey, I'm trying to build something." Now, both of them can make decisions on their own, but I think on one of them, you're like, she's not even trying to hear my side because she got this delusion of grandeur. Now, this other one may be like, okay, I got someone who, well, I don't have to think so hard to where she doesn't feel like she has to do it all. She don't have to come on and say, okay, now what am I going to do? She knows she has someone who's going to be like, okay, look, let's sit down and let's talk about this. I think it's a relief for her, you know, and in the long, it's a relief for both of us because I know she can make the decisions and I know I can make the decisions, but I also know me and her can talk about it. And she's not weak-minded. She's like, okay, I've been through this, and I can listen to her part like, okay, you've been through this. What do you suggest? And then I can, you know, throw the pros and cons. Say, well, what do you think about this? She's like, well, maybe da, da, da. And I'm like, we can have a good rapport going on. Like, okay, well, I'm gonna leave this in your hands. Let's see, you know. I feel comfortable with her making the decision because she has that good attitude and she's been there. So I'm gonna let her, you know, say, okay, if you want to carry this, okay, you know, I got your back. I'm cool with that. You know, if you feel you can't, I'm here. You know, you fall back on me and we'll try something different. You know, to where the other one is like, nah, you ain't gonna tell me what to do. Bye. Just go home. Just get out my car.
Okay. I had to laugh at that. I've been guilty. But so
Hey, Jude, no. One of y'all, I know one of y'all, I don't know who's gonna be first. Nah, let me stop.
But listen, so okay, so with that being said,
See, right, I be doing Lamont. But good.
Don't get them on started.
That's my
So
dude,
listen,
man. Yeah, go ahead.
So with that being said, right? How do you, all right, if you saying like they can do certain things or whatever. So the one thing that I know most women get is most independent women get is they don't allow or ask people for help or allow people to help them.
Right.
All right, how bad is that from a man to a guy? Because I'm not a man, so I can't answer that one. But if there was an independent woman out there, how would that like mess up her chances of having something?
Well, it tells me she don't trust my judgment, and
Do you think she don't trust nobody, or would it be just you?
I guess it depends on the situation. If me and her trying to build something, she doesn't trust my judgment. You know, and I'm only speaking in terms of if we're in a relationship or trying to work towards one. She doesn't trust my judgment. You know, I'm like, it's basically I can sing until the cows come home, but either way, she's going to make the decision, and that tells me, okay, this is not going to work because what if she makes these decisions and things just, you know, the city comes crashing, everything crashes to the ground. You know, am I going to be the guy? She said, well, you didn't do nothing. You could have done something. Well, you told me you didn't want me to.
You could have though. Okay,
I could, but if she
let's talk about this though, because I always say I think some things can be more simple. I think when it comes to men and women, we give each other too much credit, and it's really freaking simple. Because you know, as long as you can remember, we are emotional, y'all more logical.
Right.
The world can be a better place.
Right.
But I also think when it comes to that, I get asked, say something, all of that, or whatever. But at some point, when a woman said, "Well, you just could have," because technically, some of the stuff be like common sense, and you really just could have. Your analytical skills don't pop in sometimes.
But some women don't want. But see, I agree. But the problem is, when you got this type of woman, she doesn't want you to do anything. But when you don't do anything, it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Like if I be like, okay, look, and like, see, let's say, okay, look, we got to go and knock this nigga out down the street, and I'd be like, I'm just giving the situation. I'd be like, look, he a big dude, but I figure let's do this. He's like, nah, forget that. Why don't you just go ahead and punch him in the mouth? I'm like, well, he might have his boys. Well, now I go down there and I say, all right, yo, nigga, damn, and knock him out. And his boys jump me. Get home. I got my glasses busted up. My lip is all messed up. I got my ear hanging. And I'd be like, yo, she'd be like, well, you should have figured something else out. What I'm going to do? Now, if I'd have been like, if you'd have listened to me the first time, I said, look here, this
You gotta
guy,
think
he
critically
doesn't
under
fight.
pressure.
Like, this guy don't fight. He got like 9 niggas around the corner waiting for someone to jump him. Now, when I tried to tell you that, you said no, just go punch him in the face. So I did that, and I got knocked out. But now you're blaming me because I didn't have a backup plan. See what I'm saying?
You gotta think quicker under pressure and be able to switch it up some. That's what we be trying to tell you. Got to use once you put your brain into it. It be, you know what I mean. Y'all supposed to know.
I wish Lamont was in here because you know why? When we do that, you know what they say. Yeah, you just want to do it your way. Every man in the place to be. Every man listening to this podcast, watching it. Am I right or wrong?
Wrong.
You just wanted to do it your way in the first place.
But y'all do be wanting stuff your way though a lot of times. Sometimes
we don't do it. That's the thing. What we want and what we do are two different things. Of course we want our way. Of course we're men.
Okay, so technically you're not wrong. How you gonna try to bring Lamont into something that he gonna agree that I'm right?
Cause he know I'm right. Cause I'm right. We all us men, we always want we always want that. However, we don't always say we're gonna do it our way. We say, okay, so remember, she's independent. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let you make this choice. Mm-hmm. Being you know it all, and you say you can do this. Okay, I'm gonna make you. Now, when I come home with a black eye, and you wonder why I don't have any teeth, I'm like, I took your advice because you said you knew better.
But now,
you know I ain't never fought before. Then why you give me advice for? You set me on a suicide mission.
You know, we like to give suggestions. Women, I think women, we like to give some suggestions and multiple suggestions depending on the situation that could occur. So now we have options of what to do. But hold on, but as though y'all are saying like we just talking and we just what is it called, yapping off, right? But the whole time we yapping off, and then when something happened and we be like, I tried to tell you, and then y'all be like, you ain't try to say nothing. No, that was that time you considered it to be.
This is y'all way, the way y'all suggested. You better do this. That's how y'all suggest. You better do that. I ain't playing with you. You better. That's how y'all suggested. Y'all suggest is like y'all. You demand us to do it. I'm just suggesting that you need to do it.
I don't do that anymore.
Oh, anymore?
I have grown.
Okay, all right.
Look, you done called your friend for back up.
Right.
Because he not my friend. He not my friend today. So I'm gonna let y'all two be on the same. We on opposites for the next.
That's my Robin right there. So, he's coming.
All right. So read your Robin's input.
The thing is, this is the thing. Independence is welcome, career wise. It shifted down. Career wise. But domestically, I truly believe no woman deep down wants to make all the decisions. I agree.
Mm-hmm. We don't. And that's why we tell you.
But y'all do, though. That's the thing.
No. Okay, hear me out. You listening? So when we say, you can't be like, okay, just X. So y'all will sit around, and I get men like to feel needed. However, sometimes little stuff that we be like, you really want me to ask you that, and you just look, you just do it. That's what it is. It's common sense. Duh, I ain't had to ask you for that. If it's something routine or need to be done, or whatever, you want to do something nice, do it. Why I gotta keep asking you? Because if the shoe was on the other foot, you don't have to be like, hey babe. No, okay. I'm either going to offer it or just go ahead and do it. Y'all will sit back and be like,
you bringing up a different situation.
You see me struggling with the job.
You bringing up a different situation. You're talking about things we should automatically do and making decisions on other stuff. Like open the car door. That's something we know. Open the door period, you know. But now when you say, I want you to beat this nigga up down the street, that's not something we're supposed to know until you tell us. They were like, okay, what do you mean to do?
Talking about the disrespect that he gave.
Say what?
hold on. What?
Let's start talking about.
No. If he disrespect, I'm going to beat him down regardless.
Okay.
Now,
So
she down there, but if she down there talking to his girl, if she down there talking.
But we're not gonna come to you and be like, "Oh, babe, this guy." As soon as you hear this guy disrespecting me, yes, you're supposed to be ready.
But what if you went down there and he's sitting there with his homie like, "Look at that fat nigga, I can't stand him." And he get like, "What you talking to me?"
Listen,
yeah, I'm talking to you. I go get my man and he'll bust your ass.
No,
you be like, "Wait a minute, you said that's on suicide shit."
But you said in the beginning, you said something about. Hold on, you said something about trust. So you got to trust me in that situation as well. That I'm going to have your back. That I'm not just going to go out there. I'm going to go out there with something that's going to help us out too. But at the end of the day, trust me that we going to go get them together.
Like Rich said, y'all both gonna get beat up.
Listen, it'll be a for my man situation, but we go down together.
Kamikaze, okay. Gotcha.
Hi, Jude.
Hi, y'all.
Hey, what up, yo?
Oh, hi, y'all.
Hey,
for that, I miss y'all. I'm sorry my phone messed up last week because it was in the ghetto. But, I went over the hood. But anyway, don't know woman. I don't probably going back with, but I don't know. Y'all know I was stupid. Anyway, hi, y'all. Don't know woman want to be independent on her own all the time. Nobody want to pay no bills, buy herself all the time. You don't want to fucking have to make all the decisions all the time. And it ain't our fault that, we gotta be as independent as we are. Because sometimes y'all ask us something simple like, you want to go get something to eat? And then be like, yeah. And then we got to tell y'all where we want to go. Just pick a goddamn place. Some people don't, some men don't leave the independent woman enough for her to, let the guard down, in my opinion. I wanted to say that. I
can agree with that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense.
She be tired of being independent, but she always got to make decisions, and what the hell she needs to stop being independent?
I think that most women are independent.
Where he came from?
See, Rich got that dope mic.
I think most women have to be are independent, forced to be independent because men don't have their basics together. They don't have their own car. They don't have a job. They don't have their stuff together. So you dating, like I said, I feel like most women, they are forced to be independent, more independent, like Jude was talking about, is because the man doesn't have his basics together. When you're in survival mode, it's kind of hard for you to really be a man to lead a woman. Because you focus on trying to you don't have your car, you don't have a house, you don't or a place to stay, you don't have a job, you don't have no finances coming in. People be dating without their basics together, and that's what leads to independent women, and stuff like that.
Playing house.
Yeah, if you're gonna play house, you gotta be able to play house. Like you can't be half in it. You gotta be all in it. A lot of people, they just trying to. If you don't take care of yourself, how you gonna be taking care of everybody else?
Right, and see that's where the problem starts, and it's bad on both sides. Why do these women go after these bum ass dudes? They ain't got no car. They live with their mothers, or they just left from living with their baby mama. Why hook up? Like I call this the dumb dreadlock era. That's why I never grew my dreads back out, because these women, not all, but these women go for the guy who got his pants hanging down, his dreads down here. Oh, he got dreads, but that nigga ain't got no job. He still got the same underwear on he had 2 days ago. But they go for these dudes. I'm just saying, they go for these dudes, and these dudes ain't got nothing going for themselves, and then they wind up dogging them out. They be like, "Niggas ain't shit." Like, well, look what you grabbed. So you got this guy called, he got dreadlocks, and he hang with the homies.
So can I? June, I got a question after that.
The men that be on their level, put them down at a lower penalty. at times. I feel like some, not all, but some men are intimidated by some men that are on their level tend to be intimidated by the woman that is independent, like who can hold her own. And there's men out here who put them down and don't really, give them the praise. The independence is a threat more so than she'll have my back if shit went wrong with me, more so than, she out here, she make decisions on her own, she do this, she take lead, and she take lead because you don't take the lead. How about you just take the lead sometimes, and she won't be as independent.
You can't.
She don't mean to be.
You can't take the lead if you're not financially stable. You can't.
Right.
No,
that's the problem.
It goes back to the finances.
Right.
You got to have your shit together.
Right.
No.
Why go after these guys who don't? Yeah,
let me say this. So even if the person, both can be financially stable, I think that situation occurs regardless of what she's speaking on. So it's still kind of like any woman for that matter who can be proud or labeled as independent. 9 times out of 10, she is spoken negatively on, or she's made out to be a certain type. That's why I said let's look at the narrative that's set for who these independent women are, and that doesn't exude all of them. So what tends to happen is a lot of times when we do meet men, sometimes it can be an intimidation factor there. Sometimes it can be just the confidence level of the person to know, okay, if all else fails, I got us too. You get what I mean? That kind of bothers some men. It's kind of if they have like a more old school way of thinking. But I think where Mike was going, but most of it is a lot of the roles that's being displayed now. I think that's a big shift in the roles of the households have shifted so much into modern society.
But the thing about it is, that's why I always tell my nieces and my daughters and everything, they don't make men like they used to. Back then, when I was coming up, y'all went out on dates so you could learn each other. Even if you already knew that person already, you say, yo, we've been knowing each other for like a year or two. Let me take you out. Today, they don't do that. They don't do that. I know a lot. These guys don't take women out on dates. And if you want to know what a man is like, take them out on a date. But see, what you have to do, you have to interview. Like with me, any woman I go out with, I interview them. They don't know I'm interviewing them, but that's what I'm doing. I interview, and I want to see their mannerisms. I want to see, are they putting on this facade where I'm gonna show this guy that I'm this and that? Because I look right through you, be like, this ain't you. Because see, like even when we sit down and eat, I always say to people, I say, put your phone down. Always tell them, put your phone. Why? Because it's me and you at the table. If they catch your attitude right then, I'm like, already I'm saying, strike one. Strike one.
Can I interject for one thing? Because Mike said a couple of things. Pretty much, as long as a guy got money, the female gonna come. Now, can I ask a question when it relates to that? I'm glad that came up. So my thing is, when financial came in and people label independent women as, we financially stable, may make more than a guy, whatever the situation is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if she makes more? So regardless of you saying if you make this amount of money, but is that what you guys look for? Is it that you want the woman to want you for your money?
No.
Because then you have some, because then you have some who, granted, they're going to follow, but that's what they're following you for. So to me, that's not an independent anything or no type of independent type of woman. That's the woman that wants you to take care of her. So she's not independent. She's looking to be independent.
When I say, just to use your example, the woman is making more than the man, but the man is financially stable as well.
Mm-hmm.
The woman at least wants to know that the man is at least financially stable. Like a level of respect is put on that man because he at least is responsible for his own self first. If she looks at him and sees that he not even respecting himself, it ain't about the money. But if you don't have your bases together, that's kind of like a reflection of you. Before we even met and got together, you ain't have your stuff together. So you don't respect you. So why would I respect you? That's how she's thinking. It ain't just about the money, but that's a part of
Hold on. No. I just want to say one thing. You can't say unless you get this from the woman. I think that's the thing that also like G was talking about. Men can't say what we gonna do or want or assume or put us all in the same box or category what the independent woman was. Now everybody pretty much summed up an independent woman as all of these different things. But there are a lot of positives to being an independent woman. Yes, everyone wants somebody that's going to be financially stable and that can financially contribute to whatever's going on. So what I'm asking, like how Mike is putting it out there, okay, this woman don't necessarily gotta follow you. And then not only you can't always say that because if you want to label this independent woman, you don't know who following you because of your money. Because you got some women, that's all they want. It's not that they want the relationship, or they might not even want you. They just want your money.
Right.
But you know what?
But the thing is, an independent woman, if we talking about the positive kind, she's looking for also a partnership with all of those other things as well. So we got to understand which type of independent woman we talking about. Are we talking about the one that's being painted in a negative light every day, all day? Or are we talking about this one? We just grouping everybody together.
But who paints them in a negative light? If you look at social media, that's why I said social media has a negative influence on people. If you look at social media, what type of women do you see all over social media? My man has to make 6 figures. He has to have good credit, all this stuff. Now you got that woman out there who might make herself 6 figures, but she's not looking for the man who's making 6 figures.
I don't see her as an independent woman, though. I see her as trying to be
that's the point I'm making. But see, that's the point I'm making. They're putting it off as independent. That's not it. The narrative is being pushed out there to where every man has to have 6 figures, look like this, has this type of car, have all this stuff. You say, well, what about what this man got right in here? None of them say what this man has in his heart. Go look at everything on social media. Not one of them women say, what does this man have in his heart?
Right.
They don't say that. They say he got to have all this other stuff. And then the women that don't have this
generational.
Yeah.
Yes, they don't have this standard. The women that call themselves independent who don't have nothing, they put that. Yeah, my man got to have this. I got to have that. But they might be living in housing, getting food stamps.
And then I think that's where you have to use your own better judgment of which would. Yeah, I don't understand it because if I see this and somebody that's out here trying to get everybody for their money, I'm not looking at her as independent at all. That's not what I would use that meaning for. I get where you going with what's being portrayed or what's being made like this is what this supposed to look like and this is what it is. But we talking about the reality of exactly what it is in the conversation that's being had. That's not an independent woman.
I think what Coco was saying, she was saying, are we trying to generalize every woman as that type of independent woman? And I don't think that's what we're trying to do. I think there's different types. I think the type that we're talking about, that's not independent, like you said. Like it's women that like literally want to get flew out, and they make their money that way. So they may make 6 figures by getting flown out and going to see a man and doing X, Y, and Z. But they only doing that. Does that make them independent or less independent because they're doing that?
Right.
They're making money. They're not doing it. I mean, the way they're getting that money is how they're getting that money. But does that make them independent because they got their own money?
Right. So okay. So let's just say social media crashed the day tomorrow. Yeah, everybody do, and it crashed there tomorrow. That you still depending on somebody. But I think the way I'm trying to go at with it is like, okay, if this is what's following you, if we still want to use the social media narrative, so we see what type of people be on social media, and you said it best earlier, Boscoe, when you said some people will have an illusion. I mean, I know people that's like that. You can see them on social media, and it's kind of like you think it's all together. They just this perfect person. And then in all reality, that's not it. Like, you know what I mean, at all. So we gotta also think and understand. We always say social media, you can be whatever you want to be, but when it comes to an independent person, like we talked about the values, we talking about the decision making, we talking about all of those things, even down to financially. So if you're looking at somebody that's chasing you based off solely off of your financial status, is that's like saying that's what y'all looking for. You going for who hunting you, because that's
But
a
see,
person that's hunting you for your money.
that's the narrative
Oh, no.
putting out there. That's the
Fuck.
thing. That's what's
That's
being put out there.
But
that's not what we're saying.
Right.
That's not what
Oh
we're
no,
saying.
I'm going off of the input from the comment section from Mr. Mike Taylor too.
Yeah, him. Oh,
Because I mean, you gotta make it make sense for me.
all right. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. A woman will respect a man that if they don't have their bases together, they at least trying to get their bases together. Like they're trying to work their way up. He doesn't have to be a millionaire. He doesn't have to be a drug dealer. Some cases, some independent women that are getting their own money, they want men that are getting money like them or more. They will not look at a man that doesn't make money like that. So if a woman is making six figures, she's not gonna want an average Joe. You gotta come like and then think about it too. It's like it also starts from how she was raised. Cause her dad could have spoiled her and told her, don't date no man unless they treat you like I'm treating you.
Right.
So her in her head, growing up, she's always had what she wanted. She makes six figures. Without a man, she can do good by her damn self. So
You know what?
a man has to compliment that or be better at least.
You know, like I said, go. And like I said, I don't like always bringing up social media, but that's where everyone is. And like I said, go on social media and look at everybody talking about relationships and all these people who, just commenting. How many of them say, I want a man who knows how to cook, shop, clean, watch the kids? How many times? You don't see that.
Well, first of all, X out that kids one because I don't plan on having no more.
I'm just saying.
You ain't playing me on the right there,
But I'm just saying, how often do you see these women? And I'm not talking about all women, but how often do you see these women who talk about money and independence? How many do you see talk about? I want to know what's in that man's heart. None.
Yeah. Maybe it's who y'all be following or something on y'all social media.
Yeah,
I do see it. I see a lot of positive
A lot, but
and now I'm not going to sit up here in front and stunt and act like the other people not out there neither. But I tend not to. You laughing at me? I tend not to like get them too much. But the ones that actually make sense and talk about like true partnership, genuine stuff like that. But I do have a question. Since Mike is in the comment section giving me life being he said Kevin St. Jules. I knew it was coming. But anyway, do y'all think independent women have unreasonable expectations from their partner?
It depends on them. I mean, it depends on the because I can't lump them all in. Oh, go ahead, Jude. I forgot she's there. Go ahead, let her talk.
I couldn't hear no. What she say? I couldn't hear my phone break up.
Okay, so the question was, do you guys think independent women have unreasonable expectations when it comes to their partnership? I'm asking because a lot of times when people speak of women who claim to be independent or women who do everything on their own, it's more so like she expect too much, coming in the door, and this is that and the third.
Can I just respond?
Yeah. I was waiting on you to talk. Yeah.
Say that it don't matter if the woman is independent, dependent, whatever. Every woman at some point gets, to that point. Hey, what was the question?
Do you think independent women have too high of expectations? You know how they always say when women are independent, they expect too much, or their list of wants is too great.
Yeah, every woman goes through the little trials and error of the people that she deal with, whether it's man, woman, whatever. And they get tired. And every woman gets to the point, whether she's independent or dependent, she gets tired and has set expectations and what, a certain type of person. It's just frowned upon when it's the woman. Because the men had the same expectations too that they want out of the woman. And if she don't fulfill them, they go and get another one. And now I feel like today, because the females kind of doing it the same way, they kind of like, all right, I'm going to match that energy and kind of carry it like a man. Now it looks like the independent woman is just like a complete threat. Because if she don't, you ain't on her level, she going on to the next person. But every woman gets to that point where she do set standards and have expectations from anybody. It don't care if she even depends on you. That's where the women is looking for the six-figure dude. Because she don't want him as a broke dude because she's dependent on the dude. The other end of that is that the woman, if you make six figures, you might not respect her enough with her making six figures. So that's how the dudes that don't make enough make six figures again. And that's how she's the 80s and he's the 20s. That makes sense after that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Can I think I want to add one thing. Lord, I think I just forgot what I was going to say. I hate when I do that. It was good too. Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
So when she was talking about like what did she say?
A lot.
It was about the end. Okay, so when she was talking about the independent woman, and sometimes, like I agree, like no woman wants to always be independent and solely doing everything for herself. I tell everybody, I'm tired. I don't want to do it by myself no more. So I hear a lot of men say, well, if she already can do X, Y, and Z, what she need me for? Sometimes the same way, like y'all live by yourself, y'all don't want to cook, clean, and do alleged womanly chores all by yourself all the time. So it's the same thing. Like at some point you don't want to keep doing it by yourself. Okay, you want to be nice and say, okay, oh, you gonna do this? Oh shit, this is what's up. This is cool.
See, that's what I was talking about.
It's not that we can't do it for ourselves. It's more so like, damn, it feels good. It makes you feel feminine. It makes you feel like a lady to know that a man wants to do something nice for you, or your partner wants to do something nice for you. I think people miss the point. It's not that you can provide it for yourself. It's a simple fact of, damn, you thought enough about me. You made me feel, cute like a lady that day, and I didn't have to do it all by myself, and I felt like I have, like somebody got me, or somebody.
I agree with that, and I agree with what Mike's saying also. I agree, and that's what I was saying. You have. And this is just from a man's perspective. You have two different types. You have that one who wants that man to, hey, carry some of this load. But then you have those who got that attitude where they don't want you to. And like Mike said, when you do it that way, you're not doing it the way they want you to do it. And then they get this attitude, this is why I didn't want you to do it. That's something you have two of them.
I'm sorry. Real quick. Let's talk about this comment etiquette. Mike, you better not type nothing else in all caps. Don't be yelling at nobody up here.
But you know what, Idris? I think that every woman, no matter how independent they are, like Coco was saying, they all want that relief. They all want to be soft. They all want to be feminine. They all want to be like that. So
we get tired of being men. We gotta be men for the kids. We gotta be men at work. We gotta be men at home. I don't want to be a man.
100%. I'm just saying, but you have those who want that. But when, like Mike said, when you do it, they get an attitude. I didn't like it that way. You can't do it. I'll do it because you ain't doing it the way I want to do it.
But I want to flip it a little bit. I want to say
those are the ones I'm talking about.
Is that just like women, just like what Jude was saying, the same thing that we want, that the women want from us, we want from women. So don't get it twisted.
What?
I like a independent woman, because that basically means, like, from my perspective, is that she got herself together. She got her basics together. So just like women don't want to get into any kind of situationship or relationship with a guy that doesn't have his basics together. The man is the same way. You don't want to get into no situationship or relationship with a woman who ain't got her stuff together, because that's almost like taking care of a child.
That's why when we start meeting each other, we need to go out more rather than just saying, yeah, let's just link up because we know each other. That's why you gotta learn the person.
Mike's Gemini of a twin is out tonight. Because this is only a Gemini comment right here. Mike Taylor said a man has to have a program that can build a nation. First of all, can we just start with us? You're always be extra and get the whole world involved.
I'm at the age right now where I'm not building no more nations. Right now, me and her getting on the boat and we're going out to sea. We're going back out to sea. I built my nations. I'm time for me to get on the boat. I'm done building nations. I'll just say, you know what I mean?
I knew you meant the family, but I think before you get to that, you got to get past you got to get to the basics of you and the person.
Right.
Even when it comes to, because I know everybody say it's hard, like dealing with independent women or women that have certain life stability. I think it's important to get to know that person, because I think that's like end game when you talk about families and all of that stuff. In order to get to that, you got to understand how to deal with the person. So if you don't even know how to communicate with a woman that's independent of what the wants, needs, and all of those things are, how you going to do a family thing?
That's why when we meet each other, we have to
get to know each other.
Yeah, we got to get to know each other. We got to know what are we looking for down the road, rather than say, well, we got to know when you walk in that door, and you got to say, okay, this is my plan. What's your plan? And I think that's what people missing. They're not presenting their plan. They're saying, oh, well, let's do this. Neither one has a plan. One has their own plan, what they want to do. Another one has a plan, what they want to do. But do these two plans mesh? And that's what people are missing the point. Like, I don't care. I don't care how much a woman is making. If she's making 6, because I make 5. I'm not gonna lie. I make 5. Okay. If she's making 6, I'm cool. Because I know she's getting this money. That means I feel then I have to step my game up. Like, if I don't mind cooking.
I think that's going to also be like a motivator. I think
I'm like, okay.
But like when you deal with people, because I'm not gonna lie, and I was just telling somebody this, like, I used to be intimidated by certain men, right? And then I had to get up out of that, because then I had to understand I was holding myself back because I was greater and better than what I was doing. Right. But I think what I learned was some of the people that we get intimidated by or think got it all together, they need a little bit of love and support too. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I look at it like I've been motivated in a lot of ways to be better. I look at those as like opportunities to even if a person doesn't have exactly what you have, sometimes they can learn and get certain fundamentals and tools from you that can help them develop and grow. So next thing you know, this person might be where you want them to be, or they may exceed that. So I think when Mike was talking about the build a nation, that's what I would consider building us. Because now we're starting a foundation and we're trying to make it solid. But if I can't get anything from you, or if you can't get anything from this independent woman that you with, something is wrong. It's not, I think we got to get out of the one-sided mentality when it comes to partnerships.
Yeah. Like I said, if she's making more than me,
I don't need to kind of rip off the independent woman instead of working with her.
Say that last part again.
Yeah.
I said there's a lot of people trying to live off the independent woman versus working with her. A lot of things work against her more so than work with her.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I said, if she's making more than me, that tells that's my challenge, and I'm competing not against her, but I'm I'm trying to build my game. Like, okay, she's making 100 grand. I'm only making 50 grand. So I'm like, I'm gonna show her something. I'm gonna cook because, like I said, I love to cook. I'm gonna cook dinner to when she come home. Be like, damn, this nigga can cook. Hell yeah, I could cook.
You better pay them bills too, boy.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do my thing. I'm sure. I'm serving. Y'all excuse what I'm getting ready to say. I'm serving a dick with a chef's hat on. I'm hooking her up. And so when she come home, she like, I don't care if my man only makes 20,000. I make more than 20,000 a year. Let me get that out there. I don't care if my man makes $20,000 a year.
I just want
sure I'm straight when I come home.
When we come back.
So yeah, so I'm that's my challenge. And I'm up for
a lot of women that want money, that's really what they be wanting. They just be wanting somebody to come home to blow their back out. And they make sure they good. They don't need much. They don't need much. They just want their back blown out every few times and take care of the bills,
Take care of biz. That's what you gotta do, take care of biz. And I think a lot of guys today.
That was spoken like a true man.
Hey, we're keeping it 100. We're keeping it 100. we just saying what a lot of women we think.
If we saying an independent woman, she got everything else. She don't need nothing else. What don't she got? She need that love.
That's what I was talking about. Y'all got me stuttering. That's what I was talking about.
You need that loving.
Like it's no. Everybody says that. Okay, so that statement, that's what I was talking about. That okay, she got everything else. What do she need me for? Okay, there's more than just sex. And then sometimes, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I can hold this down. Yeah, I can do this. Yeah, I can do that. Maybe I don't want to do it all by myself. Maybe I want to go to my woman role. Maybe I want to be soft. Maybe I want to be, you know what I mean? Do that. Yeah, we can do it together. I can still hold my own, whatever the situation may be, right? But that doesn't mean, oh, you just going to be gutting me out and then it's just nothing else going on.
I am a chef.
Because that's pretty much like what you're saying. When you come
home and you got dinner on the table, you got your bath water ran, everything ready for you. You gonna tell me you ain't straight when you walk in that door? Ain't that what you looking for? You got a hot your bubble bath is already done. After all that go down, you're gonna be like, let's go. We got business in this room next.
But then
because
what?
I done finessed you.
But then what?
I done paid the bills.
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't say that. That wasn't say that first. It was more so he just said you got everything. So let me just hit you.
I'm breaking your. All I'm gonna do. Hey, look. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break your back and I'm gonna pay your bills. That's it. You just
you ain't say pay the bills at first.
Put that as my name in your phone. Put that as my name in your phone. He gonna break my back and he gonna pay my bills. I'm gonna always get called. I'm gonna always be on call.
All right, so listen, I'm gonna take that back. I owe you an apology. So they said you did. I didn't hear that part. So if you doing that, you are bored up. Yes. Come on over here.
Woman's gonna turn that down.
So before the accident,
I didn't hear the bill part. I didn't hear.
He came out of the accident, the straight boom.
Right. That's how the dudes back in the day used to do. They used to give it a whole check. Give it a whole check. I'm an old head. Give it a whole check.
I'm old school.
Well.
I'm old school.
I can't wait to come back from this little break.
Coco stuck. You good? Yo, break.
That old school shit with them little young girls be falling in love with.
Right.
That's their fault. That's their fault. They should have known. They should have known when they walked through the door.
Right.
I got some questions to say when we come back from this good break, though, because it's a lot. No, plus I still have another question that leads into that, and then I wanted to reply to Mike, but yeah, I didn't hear the thing about the.
I'm like Black Dynamite. I threw that shit before I came through the door.
She said I ain't hit the bills part.
I did it. Look, I heard it on the playback. I heard it on the playback.
That changes things, huh?
Yes. Because I'm like, how you just gonna be gutting somebody out and then talk about, all right, dudes, will see you next time because you got everything.
When you pay the bills, you can dictate
a lot. You could, what time you got to do a job?
You gonna make me a sandwich at 4 a.m. But I seen that online. Like, yeah, it's 4 o'clock. Need me a sandwich.
You get the key and a spare key.
Turkey BLT.
He get a key and a spare key. I take the other copy.
Make sure that.
Right.
You the type of dude. You sound like the type of dude that give a chick a fucking little snack. You put you leave with a juicy juice in it. Nah,
I ain't cooking. If I'm paying the bills, I ain't doing no cooking. Nah.
He should have read the playbook before she left. Not the playbook. We need to go to break, y'all. We need to go to break. We're
gonna take a quick 5-minute break, and then we will come back for part 2 of dating the independent woman. I got some questions that I ain't even asked, and I'm going to ask them when we come back.
Welcome back to the Casual Convo, where we talk about stuff that y'all don't talk about. Check it out. I'm your co-host, Boscoe from the Bronx, a.k.a. Idris Salam. Big Boscoe Productions. Check out my mixtape coming out in a couple more months. Right now, Coco is having some technical difficulties with her sound. But for right now, I'm going to hold it down. We're talking about independent women, about dating them and all that. You know, how you feel about it, how we feel about it as men. You know, we all have our views, you know what I mean? And we're going to try to get down to it. But we got Coco back in the place to be. Boscoe from the Bronx passing the mic. That's how I do. Check out my mixtape in 90 days. It's called The Main Attraction. Check it out. We out of here. Here you go. Back to Coco.
Can I say something? I did not even know I was having technical difficulties, but we're here.
I had it. Don't worry about it. I was doing it. You know, my mixtape too. Coming out, The Main Attraction coming out in October.
What's coming out in October?
My mixtape.
Mixtape.
Oh, yeah, my mixtape, The Main Attraction, coming out.
Oh, let me know when that come out.
Get it together now. That's right. Yeah. Look out.
You know why he ain't just told us? He just told us.
I wasn't on here. I was having technical difficulties. I came back and said that.
Oh,
don't worry. I got it.
He did a little infomercial.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, okay. I got it. I talk about what we was talking about. I got it.
All right. So I already know you held it down on the re-intro for the intro.
Yeah.
The things. So I did have a question. Ooh. Because with so much that was said in the first half, all the way down to the expectations, types of independent women, because I think it's safe to say that we agree that there are different categories of independent women. Whichever one you think you fit, okay. But do you think it's difficult for to be in a long-term relationship with a woman that's independent, and why?
I'd say it depends on the attitude.
How long have you been with somebody with an attitude?
6 months. Because she had attitude.
So something else had to keep you going for 6 months. Because I'm sorry, you got a bad attitude. I'm not sticking around for 6 months. I might not even stick around for 6 months.
I ain't trying to brag, but she wanted to keep it going for other reasons.
Oh
Lord Jesus.
God be my witness.
So
God be my witness.
I need to know what Mike said.
I cut it off then. I said that we could do it no more.
He said yes. This is Mike in the comment section. He said unless she can get over her trust issues. So do all independent women got trust issues? That came up a couple
But you
times.
see, with the one, the independent, I've dated a few independent women. It wasn't a trust issue. It was more like they wanted to be in charge. It was my way or the highway, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the highway. That's what it was. But it wasn't trust because there were a lot of things the person trusts me with, even with decisions. Like, but it was still more like she felt like I got the final say, and I'm talking about that's how she felt. I got the final say, and I was like, no, it ain't working like that. And plus, I no, it ain't working like that. So, but it wasn't trust. But I'm just speaking on my behalf. I mean, I know other men have dealt with other different things. Mine mainly with them was this attitude. They just had that bad attitudes, just like the shitty attitudes. That was it. And you got a bad attitude, I can't do because as wild as I act on Facebook talking trash. Nah, I'm not that guy. I mean, when I'm at home, I'm chill. I like to relax, man. I like peace, and I hate when someone's complaining about every little thing. Every little thing. And
So,
I'm like,
Mike, can you explain this to me? Because I know Mike not up here. I've heard men say that quite a few times. Something that he said is like, she didn't trust you to lead. And I know sometimes we as women, we do sometimes have a conversation about what does I don't want to say allowing because we don't allow y'all to do anything. But when you let your man lead you, what does that look like? Because I think sometimes where we think we're being do I want to say submissive or taking a step back? We think we are, but we're not. So what does that look like?
I mean, I can't speak for all men because see, when I see submissive, I don't see it as a lot of people look at it. I think a lot of people see submissive as you're gonna bow down to me, and I think that's the narrative being put down. You're gonna bow down to this guy, and I don't see submissive. I see submissive as you're gonna hear me out. Hear me out. We just you're gonna work with me. That's how I see submissive. And we're gonna work this out. If I say, hey, can you do this for me? All right, cool. And I'm gonna do the same thing. That's why I see submissive in both parts. See, I don't use it in the biblical sense. I say we're both gonna be submissive to each other. We're gonna hear each other out. And I think a lot of guys and a lot of them in the church, let's keep it 100. When they say women to be submissive, they want this woman to be basically their slave. You're gonna do what I say. You're gonna do what whatever I say goes. And I think that's my opinion. That goes. It gets passed around to where a lot of women think that's what submission means, and that's not it. And yeah, it's a slippery.
The woman will submit to a man if he presents himself in the right way, no matter what is in that man's target. That's how what you were talking about earlier, like the men that ain't the six-figure men, like they still get like the good women or the six-figure women because he probably still presents himself. He treats her like a woman. He probably feel like a woman. He probably respects her as a woman. And so she submits. Women submit to who makes them feel like they should submit. And all women don't look at it as a bad thing.
Right.
I think for me with the submission thing, I think is I think it's a little different. I think I need to have a safe space that I feel like I can submit to you and that you're gonna lead me because sometimes you might get some little intuitions that okay, this might be a potential domestical, or you get what I'm saying. Like so, you might just can't do it initially. I think over time, like Mike mentioned, being yielding and trusting, and I think also with being trusting and yielding is also when you feel a sense of security and like this person is allowing you and creating an energy space and field that's allowing you to be like, okay, yeah, I might be all right with this person. You get what I'm saying? Like you,
Yeah,
it's something that you feel, and I think um a lot of men do when they talk about being submissive, just don't say shit. You know what I mean? Or you know what I
yeah,
mean? You do what I tell you. No, that's possessive. That's like you thinking I'm your property.
I
Um,
agree.
I think being submissive is not always trying to hurry up and jump and take the lead, or not trying to tell this man how I want him to be this man. Or you know what I mean? Like I can tell him how to be a man better than what he can. And just allowing him to be the man of the relationship, the man of the home, or whatever that situation may be. To me, that would be the submissiveness, and not me trying to play both roles and then fussing at him when certain things is lacking. So I
Right.
think it's just knowing your position and your position and role in a relationship.
I
Hmm.
think that women can
She
be
might think
submissive.
shit.
I think women can be submissive, but I think that going back to the basics again, it's going to be hard for a woman to be submissive to you if you don't have your basics together.
Right.
Period.
Number two, um, I think that being submissive for me is like a woman trusting you, trusting that you're gonna handle a situation. Like if I tell you, "Hey, I'm gonna take care of that," but then you go back and then like you ask me, "Did you take care of that?" Like you just trusting that. Like submission to me is like you know like okay, this man gonna handle that. Like he gonna do what he say he gonna do, and I believe that and I trust that. Like that's to me is submission. I don't need you to do what I tell you to do all the time. But if I tell you, hey, I'm gonna take care of that,
Okay,
you
I
don't have
think
to
Big
you
time.
don't
also
have to
a part.
question it.
Yeah, I think another piece to add to that part will also be damn, no, right?
Man,
I know it was right there on the tip of my tongue.
You had a
Just
mean
come
one.
back to it. Come back to it. I come back, and it was a good one too. It was
Yeah,
a good one too.
I think, man. Like I said, I think today's man, today's man wants to be treated like the woman, man. And with the independent woman, that kind of puts her in a situation where she acts like she has to be the man. Because I see how these guys out here today. And
Ooh,
I know, know
that's a
I
a
good
got
lot
it.
of guys gonna get pissed off at me, but I don't care. They can't beat me. If they want to be,
I
they
got
come
it.
get me. They
Can
can't
I
beat me.
say it
Go
real
ahead.
quick?
Uh-huh.
So I think the other piece of submission to get all of those things is, um, you know how just like when Rachel was talking, he like, yeah, like I got this. Da, 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 da. I think how the man handles the woman,
Mhm.
especially a woman that you want to break a little bit.
Mhm.
If you want that shoulder break some, you gotta handle that a little bit. She's still a little bit fragile, but in the same way, I think we also have to handle men with care as well. But
Mhm.
also, you just can't be like delegatory and just think, oh, I'm supposed to just bow down and then that's your
Right.
submission. Yeah, I trust you, but I also got to see how you handle me for
Right.
me to be able to submit in ways that you need me to. Because I got to see how you handle me. I got to see how, certain things like it may not be perfect, but are you just going to give up on me and just be like, oh, you get what I mean?
But these dudes today don't want to do that. A
But
lot of them don't. And I'm not coming at all guys, but these new niggas, these this new generations of niggas, and I hate to put it that way, um, they don't want to do that. They don't want to. They want to be treated like women, and it makes some of the independent women get that masculinity in them. Like, hey, I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna be that, and that's the part where I do agree with the women about some of the women that got a bad attitude. Because you got these young niggas who, nah, I ain't doing that. Hell nah, I ain't doing that for her. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
mhm.
And that makes the woman say, well, you gonna listen to me then.
But it goes
Not
back to
me.
what Coco said, creating
Yeah,
a safe space. You want
right,
to create a safe space for her. So
right,
in order to create that safe space, that foundation has to be solid. Going like people don't take the time to to take care of themselves before they get
right,
worrying about it. You cannot worry about somebody else or be in a relationship if you haven't took care of self first.
right.
Like, because then it's like it's never gonna work out because you're trying to help that person out, or they're trying to help you out, and they're
Yeah,
overcompensating and they're not taking care of their own responsibilities because they got to worry and support you. So if we
right,
both going into the playing field on the same level, like we both got our stuff together, we both do what we have to do, and we still make time for each other, then it's gonna work. But if it's overcompensation, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to make it work.
Because you have to do more than what you have to be more than what you actually are, and you can't sustain that, you know. And that's when the fakeness come out, and you're not trying to be fake because you want to be fake, but you're trying to maintain that, you know, that way, and then eventually it's gonna you're gonna expose yourself. Yeah, I agree. And you, like Mike said, you know, you got to come to the game with your act together, you know. And unfortunately,
both parties don't always do that. That's
right. I agree. So, you know, I mean, but like I said, with me, I don't care how much she makes. I don't care, because I'm gonna do what I got to do anyway. If she makes $100 grand, I'ma still cook because I love to cook. I'ma still clean because I don't like a messy house. Da 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 da. And I'ma still serve her the Bozak with a chef hat. If she makes $10,000 a year, well, I don't know what that is. she won't get the chef hat.
She making 10,000. Yeah, we need to do some work.
She better have a side hustle.
She better come. Yeah, when I come home, I better have dinner.
That means I'm the breadwinner. Then she making 10,000. Yeah, she must.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I don't even know what income that is.
She got to give me the good with a chef hat on and everything.
Some couples out here with a man stay at home dads, and the wife is the one who makes the most.
And that's what Boscoe was talking about.
Yeah.
When the men acting like the women, there ain't no way in hell. Stay at home.
No, and I don't mean like that. It's actually, I think that's so to look at that is cultural. Like some of my coworkers, over the years, they have had they make more money than their husbands. They have children. Their husbands stay at home. They make do stuff for home. They stay home, take care of the kids. And the woman,
they black or white,
take care, work. Mostly white people or foreigners. But yeah, it does happen though. But
we don't do no shit like that.
No, we don't do that. That's in the book of shit black people don't do.
It's a thing. It's also a thing. Black women, I do agree with that. Black women, I have that. You're not staying at home.
Right.
They get kids. There ain't no black man. They don't want that.
Black woman,
your ass out there hustle.
Woman gonna say that's cool for about a month, but then after that 30 days, she gonna be like, "You gonna have to get a job."
Yeah, get a job. You gonna be up here with your homies.
That she gonna start talking about you to her girlfriends. That's the worst.
Yep.
But see, my question is,
what's she gonna say?
Why is it that it works? But see, it works. It works for some people. They not broke. That's the thing. They're not broke.
I think it depends on the couple. And then some people had that relationship where as though, okay, he might have held her down while she did whatever. So let's say she was going to school, doing whatever. And he took care of everything. It could be a number of things. Some people they switch roles if the other person is going to school or doing whatever.
I can't be at home.
I mean, you see me trying to justify this stuff.
Yeah, I can't be at home. Now, if she's making money like that, and she said, "Look, baby, you just cook, clean, da 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 da."
For the panties, man.
I'd be like, "All right," but I'm still.
You can't even put your foot down.
Yeah, I can't. I can't do it.
I've been working. Like how does that even work? Like you stayed at home all day. She done worked all day, and then you can't even complain about nothing.
Can't complain about nothing. I need something to complain about.
Children, but I'm pretty sure staying at home raising kids all day ain't easy.
I need something to complain about.
Right.
Can't complain about nothing.
Right. Yeah, you can't.
You can't say, babe, you always working because your ass.
You can't even turn the AC on.
Nope. I gotta have something to complain about. Can't complain about nothing.
So okay, let me ask y'all a question. Because we be y'all think independent women are emotionally detached or
yes.
Not all.
They can be.
Not all. But some are.
They can be.
It's some. Yeah.
It go back to what you and Jude were talking about. Like Like a lot of times when a woman has been doing it on her own for so long, she builds up a strength that she doesn't even realize how strong. Here come Mike, Big Mike in the house.
No, I hear that
So
beeping.
long,
There
she
he is.
builds up a strength.
Money Mike in the place to be, Mr. T.
No,
Hear that beeping?
hold on.
Mr. T. Mike in the place to be, Mr. T.
Somebody background doing a lot. You got me.
Yeah, somebody got background.
Listen,
Mike.
I mean,
somebody
stuff
background doing a lot.
I think stuff I heard 10 seconds ago.
All
So
right.
can we do one thing? We're gonna take a quick moment of silence because every time Mike come up here, we got cleanse the line. The man
Oh my God.
Mike,
I'm not
smart
yeah.
we gotta get the frequency together because you know.
perspective. You always need a different perspective in here.
No, Mike don't have no different perspective. Mike just want to come up here.
You always need a different perspective in here. With my echo.
All right. Hi, Mike.
All right. Hey, hold on, but that was
There
me.
you go.
That was me. I had to shut it down. I was on Facebook. So that was my background. Okay, so
right.
I stayed at home for 5 years.
What happened?
I stayed at home for 5 years.
Woohoo.
Is this a black man to say that?
I stayed at home for 5 years, not work.
I'm through.
Hold on. Yeah, I stayed at home for 5 years and she took care of the house.
Oh, ain't that something?
I had 2 cornea transplants where I couldn't work.
Oh, okay. See,
So
that's
she
different.
took care-
That's
so she
different.
took-
See, you was on the second shut-in, so that didn't, you
No,
you don't
hold
count.
on. No, I still got one
You
get out so I can go to work.
I'm talking about the Jodies out there. That's on the couch playing that.
Yeah. So listen, I was listening to y'all, but all right, so us having cultural differences kind of put us at odds with our independent women. Because it's a lot of cultures that understand that Al Bundy was a shoe salesman and he sold shoes and he still ran his house. It's when it comes to us as black people, we seem like we need to kind of insert ourselves in dominant roles, right? So the 5 years that I wasn't working, not that I couldn't work, it just was frowned upon me to like look at TV and all that type of stuff. I could have went out and worked at Wendy's or some other place. She wasn't upset at me for not working. I didn't get yelled at. If I needed things done, she did it. If I needed her to iron my clothes, whatever I asked for her, she did it. We've been together for 8 years.
She was independent.
She's always been independent.
There we go.
She's always been. I only deal with women that move like how my mother moved.
Okay.
So, but I've understood that even though she's independent, she's intro dependent. You see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So even though she has her own personality, she does what she want to do. If I say, look, we shutting down the house for the day, everything gets shut down. I don't care if her mother called. I don't care if my mother called. You know what I'm saying? So what I say is that it can be done depending on how that person is raised. So a person coming from like a 2-parent household has a lot more balancing.
Uh-huh.
Has a lot more balancing than a person that comes from a single parent household, whether it's a single father or mother, because they're gonna have to overcompensate the whole thing. You see what I'm saying? Tell them that's funny. I don't need no milk. Hold on, I'm good. But
No, I when they talk about me.
but what I'm saying is that
you're rolling that.
what I'm saying is that most people see their parents struggling. Like my mother and father was married. So like I've never seen like only when they got a divorce, but my father was always around. Like even in jail, he was able to send us stuff. But I think like when you come from a single parent home, you kind of resent being raising kids on your own. So we as a people got the narrative push that we're the only ones that come from like broken families and that women have to be independent. You know what I'm saying? And so we as men, especially men, younger men, because I ain't doing half that shit Boscoe talk about. But and I'm in 6 figures. I'm not doing a third of that shit, bro. Like
no, I do because I love cooking.
That ain't what I'm saying. I'm talking about all the other shit. Like I'm gonna give her this dick and I'm gonna go home. But what I'm saying, listen. But what I'm saying is that we as a culture
Why?
really was taught to despise the independent woman.
What if she don't? No. What if she don't?
Hey, but Mike, but I did say I'm gonna serve a dick with a chef hat on though.
I know you did say I ain't gonna do that either. Nigga. She might get the Willie, bro, or Scully on, or some Timbs, depending on how I feel. And I'm going home.
No flowers. He just said, "I'm gonna give it to her and go home."
No,
like,
but I did that to lighten up. But I'm saying that, but we have been taught to despise the. Well, we've been taught to despise the independent woman.
But to Mike's defense on what he said, that was funny. But some independent women, that's all they want.
Nobody. I ain't know nobody want. No, it's not.
You know, listen. I'm gonna tell you the most independent women that I meet are in hospitals. Like the most independent women are women that's in hospitals. They don't. They got this mantra because they all a homegirls.
My daughter's mother.
And they all went to school together, and now they all work in the same hospital. They really look at men sexually only, like they're like you, because you got to understand their main goal is to get a doctor. So everything outside of that, is like the regular nigga, man. What you gonna bring to the table about your mouth and your dick? Because they're not looking for us. Right.
He's right.
Can I say one thing? Can I just say one thing for all the men's? Don't listen to that. All y'all got some good stuff because y'all don't.
He's telling the truth though.
What else he going to do? Don't be thinking how y'all think to be thinking.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we as men came across. But we have men as men we've came across independent women, right?
That's the man.
Because in the man's space,
you don't like it, but this is the man perspective.
As men who fall into this space, right? So we fall into this space early, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
But don't create this space that everybody can just give up pickles.
I'm not saying that. Listen what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we've ran into the most independent women who work at hospitals. Johns Hopkins University. Yo, Baltimore City is a hospital city.
Yeah,
Hopkins.
So we have ran into independent women who are not looking for. We are good times and fun time, and men has learned to accept that. Right.
I have a question. So, somebody has a question.
Okay.
I'm trying to read the name.
Is that the paragraph?
No. She just said. Nonetheless, Crystal said, "What do men do when y'all make them independent?"
First of all, so let's clear this up. Men don't make y'all independent.
Right.
Okay. The choices that y'all make dealing with other mates make y'all independent. Right. So 9 times out of 10, we get the independent woman who has decided to trust a man before us. Right. And I'm gonna tell you,
we talk about damaged individuals.
No, I'm not gonna talk about that. What I'm saying is I'm gonna say this. Women have women have types, right? So y'all have a type, a specific type, right? Men, we have a range. Okay.
What's the women's specific type?
I'm about to tell you. So most women have a specific type that they go after, right?
Cool.
Hands will let you know on a given night a big girl could get it even if it's not what he want to do at that moment. She just look good. She's funny. I like her. She might not be somebody that I wouldn't necessarily sleep with, but she's here. With women, y'all have a specific type. He has to be this height. He has to be this build. He has to be this color. His teeth has to be just white. We don't have that. Men don't work like that. So majority of the time, when y'all are independent, is because y'all type has let y'all down. Y'all type so y'all type has let y'all down.
Disagree.
No. Think about this.
All women are independent because of relationship. Some women are independent for deeper reasons. Some women are independent because they watched another woman depend solely on a man, but she didn't want that either.
But that's what I'm saying. Is based
I
on
think
the
what
type.
Mike is saying is y'all look for a certain type.
Yeah, everything is about
of
type.
man.
No, but you can't see that's what I'm saying when you
I'm not going into mental. I'm not trying to switch. I'm not talking about damages.
Okay.
I'm staying away from all of that.
Okay, but when you say that, you're talking about a damaged person. When we say damage, we mean damage as some type of trauma or hurt from something in their past.
That's what I just said. I should say that
right,
they type let them down.
No,
They
what Mike
type has let them down.
but okay, so
because the person they was with before made the men don't make them independent. The person they was dealing with before they got to you know, did something to them without something like that.
Right.
This is where I disagree with that though. Because no, I'm not gonna say I fully disagree. I agree to a degree. Only because you also gotta understand it's not just women and come from a past of men. Some women were raised to be independent, to be proudful, whatever you want to deal with. A lot of women come from that background, right?
But then that's what I'm saying.
Hold on. Let me get my thing off. No, he was saying to come from a relationship, and he stuck to the.
No, he didn't say that.
Listen, hear me out. So when you said you said from what somebody else did to them, and then when Jude started talking, she brought in the other piece from a deeper issue. Is what I'm saying. So when you talk about that, you can't say you're not getting into damaged people because that's what you're talking about. You're talking about somebody that's hurt. That doesn't mean that person is independent. But at the same token, you got to look at the man who's with this woman as well.
But listen to what I'm just saying. When she asked it, that's why I put it in a realm where we don't have to really go mental. It's just in a clear understanding. Like most women have a type. Your mother had a type. That type might have treated her some type of way. You have a type you have been treated some type of way. Men don't really have a type.
Right. We don't have a type.
We don't have a type. We have a range. So the majority of the times when we get hurt, it's in our younger years. It's really not when we get older because our types, our ranges tend to change, right? So the things that we may like in a woman switches. Most women have a base type of man, right? If you ask a woman right now, would you date a guy that's 5'6" and you're 5'9"? You're not going to date that guy because he doesn't fit into your type.
But if you ask a man that, we'd be like,
a type. I'm gonna go find Keisha, right? And she might be 120 pounds. And I might not like a skinny girl, but she may be awesome as a person. I'm going to deal with her. You see what I'm saying? Because that's my range. My range is, okay, well, if she funny like me, she watch anime like me, then we can connect. You ask a woman right now, would you date a man that's 400 pounds or 600 pounds? You got to help him out the bed. Of course not. Because that's not your type. Because
now you gotta remember, he's giving a perspective from a man, how we think.
No, I'm listening.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying,
but you know what's funny? Y'all like this point.
You got that look like, oh, I got something to say.
All the way. When y'all know that's not what I'm all the way, y'all be like, y'all know we just doing this.
No, that's not what I'm saying though. What I'm saying is that this has been proven though. Like you bring a whole bunch of women in one group and say, you know, would you deal with Boscoe, who's a little older, right? Mm-hmm. Will you deal with Mike, who's a little younger, right? The first thing that y'all will look at is age-wise, and I will be counted out until you see how stable I am.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, I'm looking more appealing. Being that Boscoe, he's going to cook for you and hold some doors.
Wait a minute. Can I need, because I gotta get all the details.
Okay.
So are we referring to a certain range of, because you said men have range. So are you talking about a certain range of women that's right in this category, or are you grouping all women together?
No. What I'm saying is that when most women start out dating, most women start out dating, they have a type. And they don't usually stray away from that type until that type lets them down. Okay, everybody starts off. Even if like your mother had a great boyfriend, right? And he raised you. That is the type of man that you see, right? Men, we don't have that type of type. You see what I'm saying? We're not made like that, right? So I may like you, Coco's nice, but I might like Jude. You know what I'm saying? And then I might like your other friend with the big butt that twerk a little faster. but it's different aspects of why I like them. Right. I don't have a set preference. I don't have like, she don't have to be like 5'2", 5'6". You know what I'm saying? I don't have that type of hard measurement. I don't have it. Right. Most women have a hard measurement. You short, so you're gonna date a guy that's like 4'9"?
I don't fully agree. I don't as a woman. And because when you start talking about types and stuff, and then when you be around guys, so I guess y'all want to use the term preference or what people preferences are. But then when you also look into
that's my niece right there. She's chiming in.
I'm not saying preference though. I'm saying type. It's a difference.
Yeah, cause like Mike was saying, like suppose you meet a guy.
I get where he was coming from with the whole type and preference thing, but I think it's also when you start talking about sizes and all of those things, that's like a preference or what you would prefer to deal with. But when you hear a lot of guys or men talking, they always talking about a type. Now, I think with women, I don't know. I don't fully disagree, but I don't all the way agree, because I think when you try to limit it that way, it takes so much away when it comes to what makes a woman independent. And I think that's where she was saying is like when certain things are like happening in your face and doing it may not be a type, because everybody don't go for the same thing. It doesn't always go from an experience or their past. Because if you want to go on that, some people just keep on going for the same freaking type, no matter how many times they heard them or do anything like that. But when it comes to a type, when it comes to an independent woman, I think that that type changes depending on that woman. I don't think it's good to put it all together in one class or one group.
Well, what I was trying to do, I was trying to avoid the mental aspect of it all, like the abuse. You may
some things you can't get away from, Mike.
I be trying to. I don't want to go that deep. I'm good with the surface.
I mean, we always go deep on here. I mean, that's the way it's gonna go, because when you think about it, and when we keep trying to put all of these stigmas and labels, which is what I really wanted to say about independent women, like I mentioned in the beginning, people put this stigma on an independent woman like she's a bitch, she's nasty, she's rude, she's this, she's that. So those were the things, and when we first started, that's initially what came off, and I was glad that it did, because it proved my point. Because technically, that's not what an independent woman is. You get what I mean?
True.
That's just a nasty ass woman. So now we got to look at who we classifying as these types. Are you talking about those particular group of women, or are you talking about a woman when she says what her type may be? And I was also going to ask, like, some women actually just want somebody, even if they don't necessarily make as much or more. I think it's the contribution and to know that you got me if I ain't got you. Get what I'm saying? Like that back and forth thing.
Safety,
But I'm coming from a different type of independent woman, so I'm also got to rationalize it that way. I'm not coming from this type of woman that I think y'all are talking about.
But look, okay. That being said, when people think about an independent woman, what do the women say? I'm a boss bitch. I'm a bad bitch. That's what you hear.
That's true.
You don't hear that out of the men.
Like you do.
You hear that out of the
then
women.
you have some.
So what are we supposed
like
to think?
We don't. That's why I think it all depends on also the group. I think it also depends on the culture of women that you're talking about and the group of women, because all women don't celebrate like that.
Generational.
Well, generational is important.
It's generational. I feel like you got the generational women, who was taught to depend on a man. You got the working class woman who was taught to not depend on a man. And then now you got this generation of women who brought up to use what they got to get what they want from a man. And it's all different classes of independent in each one of them. Just because that woman, the man was the main breadwinner and took care of the household, and paid all the bills and whatever. The one was independent in the sense to make sure they was good and everything about home was good, and he ain't had to want for nothing.
But the loudest one is the one everyone hears, and that's the one everyone wants to be like, even though they're not even on that class.
The one that gets wait a minute, hold up. That's the one that gets attention because she's loud. And
right. That's what I'm saying.
Wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute.
No, I'm agreeing with you, Jude. I'm agreeing with you, Jude. That's what I'm saying.
Yep, I agree.
Let me finish.
Oh,
everybody pays her attention because she's loud and she's talking about using these niggas for a month. The one that's turned upon is the ones that went out here, work hard for degrees, making money. They ain't out here using niggas. They the ones that get shunned upon, don't get the respect they need, and that's the problem. That's the problem with society for real.
Internet wife, I'm agreeing with you, baby.
Look, this how this worked though.
No, but I mean, that's real. I think that's the point that we're trying to make. It's the type of woman that you're talking about. That doesn't make them independent. I think it's what you define as an independent woman is. And when we talk about these loud women, and like I said earlier, an independent woman can't. She too busy trying to take care of what she got to take care of to convince you that she this independent, bossed up chick. So even when it comes down to me and my friends, I'm like, damn, you doing your thing, you know, we gonna learn, we gonna grow from each other. But when you got somebody that gotta constantly throw out their accolades, constantly throw out, oh, I got this, I did this, I'm this, that doesn't make you independent. It just you seek validation. Real independent women don't seek validation.
I'm gonna be the elephant in the room. I'm gonna be the elephant in the room. I agree with all of y'all perspective, but the woman that is getting flown out doing X, Y, and Z on social media, she getting her own bag. Even though listen, even though it's frowned upon, even though it's looked down upon, she's still going to get her own bag. So she would be considered an independent woman because she has her own money. She may go out, get flown out, go see one dude, and then have a boyfriend at home.
Right.
Hey, look, Rich. Tricking ain't never been frowned upon, bro.
Okay, like you said, everybody can hustle up. Everybody can hustle. That's granted and true. If that's the definition of that being, and I think that's what we're saying is it all depends on what do you consider this independent type of woman.
That's not the independent woman that I look for. But I'm just saying, if we're gonna be real, there's different types, like y'all said, different types of independent women. All can't be categorized the same. But those are independent women as well. They just getting their money how they get it. Like someone, I know a woman right now that makes 6 figures off
in the wrong field.
OnlyFans. All she does is shows her feet.
And Rich, you know what?
Sell her feet.
And Rich, you know what? The thing about it, them are the ones you don't hear. You don't hear them yapping about how independent they are. They're doing their thing. I mean, some got a little bit of mouth, but they're doing their thing. Yeah. They're doing their thing. But you got the boss bitch who got all these women thinking this is how you got to be independent.
Right.
These Cardi B lovers.
Yeah, but Cardi B married.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. So it's kind of like they not even come on now. But I think that's when
Beyonce was so independent that she got married.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, but at the same time, this is my thing, and maybe I'm probably overanalyzing. Y'all know why I might be overanalyzing, but I look at it like this: if this is what people are looking to idolize or to say this is what I need, this is what independence should look like. And I see you talking about this, but then I see you over here doing the opposite of what you're doing over here. I'm not trusting nothing that you say. And I think that's where your common sense and your knowledge, and I think that's where the values and the moral base comes in at, depending on the woman. Because if we're going to say an independent woman, even by definition, is a woman that's like in tune with her own values, her core values, that would not shift my interest to be like, oh, this is where I got to be, because that's not my value.
Well, so we're gonna set the record straight from my generation, so which is basically your generation, because I'm 40. Yeah, okay, baby. Okay, whatever. So listen, so this, but this is how, so this is how it works. So,
before you do that, I got one question for the guys. I didn't want to miss it because I'm sorry, she's been commenting and I have not read one. None other than Crystal. She said, what is the man's mindset when his girl woman does not need him anymore.
Okay, so listen. So this is what I'm gonna tell you flat out.
Mike handle this one.
And we're gonna clear this up because women have this weird perception that we don't need y'all anymore. It don't matter how much money you make, it doesn't matter how many accolades you have, or none of that. The moment that you decide in your mind that you don't need me anymore, that means you don't need me to make you feel safe. You don't need for me to protect you. You don't need me to walk you to the car at night. So you don't even need me to have you move on the other side of the street when we walking down the street. See, what most women get caught up with is they think like, but when I don't need a man, like, okay, but what does that man do for you? I got a gun down the stairs, my nigga, that if anything come in this house, she got her gun, but I'm the first one to shoot. Mm-hmm. Okay, she know that. As soon as I go downstairs and grab my rifle, she need to be in the room with hers, right. Wait if I don't come back. Mm-hmm. Most women get it confused that you may think that he's not paying my bills, so I don't need him anymore. If you're thinking materialistically, you're not thinking about safety, you're not thinking about protection, you're not thinking about teaching, you're not thinking about understanding, because we both think differently, right? So if you were a man that he hasn't taught you how to budget a checkbook, teach you how to save money, teach you how to diverse your funds, because the most important thing in a woman's life is that she's usually bad with money. Most men are usually cheap until we like you. Right. So if you haven't learned those values, that this man provides a safety net for you and where you stay at. This man protects you outside. This man protects you at night during the daytime. And I'm not talking like physically aggressive violence. I'm talking the reassurance that he go out his way to make sure that you're safe. When most women get to talking, I don't need a man, I'm on my independent shit. Sure, go to the gun range. Sure.
Can I ask a question? Dude, because I have trauma with water, right?
Okay.
I cannot swim. So in this trusting, in this building, this thing, right?
Right.
Ain't the person supposed to acknowledge that I'm scared of certain stuff?
Yeah, but you're supposed to hold my hand while I lead you to the deep part of the water.
Right.
Right. You can't be like, come on.
No, you got to be able to hold on to me while I walk you to the deep end.
Say less. I can't wait.
Because my job is to make sure that in any situation, you know I got you. Right. So when women get to talking this, I got an independent mindset. Where? If a man you walking down the street right now, right, and a guy smack you, I'm gonna keep walking because you're independent. No, you're gonna look for me.
I'm gonna smack you.
No. You said no. Listen what she said. She said I'm independent. Well,
I don't need a man.
So if we're outside and a man smack you, I'm gonna walk past you. I'm going to the car.
Nah, we ain't doing all that. Nah.
Because what I'm saying is
who's gonna cut the grass?
Ain't nobody hit no females around.
Listen, Rich. I went to the extreme because I want women to understand.
Yeah.
Extreme no more.
Yeah, but when y'all perceive that y'all don't need a man, y'all forget everything else that come with us.
Who's gonna cut your grass?
Everything else that come with us, like money come with us fine, sex come with us fine, but protection is the number one goal of a man. Mm-hmm. Period.
And usually, when they say that, they're saying it from an emotional place,
right?
Because normally they're saying it when they upset, and then when they come back down off of that hot horse or whatever fairy tales in their head, then they start to, oh yeah, I do need a man. They start to see how lonely it is out there without a man.
And it's dangerous. It's dangerous for a woman to be out there by herself.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Where I live, I'll be honest with you. I've been living in this house right here 6 years. I ain't seen not one black woman cut their grass. Not one. All these independent women. Can you cut my grass for me? No, where you man at? Not one black woman. I've never seen a black woman in my neighborhood cut grass.
And you won't.
All the black women in this neighborhood, all the single women, can you roll my trash can up? My neighbor, she's married and she's messing with a black guy. You know what happens? He rolls her trash up every Wednesday morning.
Right,
He
exactly.
cuts her grass.
And they cut that grass. That's right.
When
That's
he
her
was
job.
gone,
And
she
they
was
turn
like,
their ass.
yep. She's like, Mix, can you cut my
I
grass
say
for
one
me?
thing?
And she was like, I don't need a man. But after that, she's like, I miss having a man.
Yeah.
Can I-
Right.
Black
Yeah,
women
it's
do
hard.
not cut grass in the
First
hood.
of all,
I know
Yeah.
that's
First of
generalizing
all-
something. My bad.
PDSA, Boscoe, you are correct. I'm not cutting no grass.
Right.
If there's a man around, I'm not cutting no grass. I'm not taking no
What about if
trash.
he's not around? Who's cutting the grass?
I mean, I'm gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to get somebody.
But are you going? There you go. I'm gonna have to say it again. You
But
gonna
pay
what?
somebody to do it.
Right.
Bam!
Pay somebody to
Let
do
me
it.
tell y'all something. I got allergies. I got allergies and monkeypox
You
is
can't
out
swim
here.
and you got
I
allergies.
know.
Something ain't adding up.
I
there.
got. I'm say I got. No, they real bad. I got allergies. I'm not cutting no grass.
Shoveling snow.
Get somebody. I
But-
somebody do it. Let me tell you something.
Like,
Let
Shoveling
me-
snow.
Some-
You out there
Yeah,
shoveling
who
snow?
goes shovel the snow?
No,
So-
I'm not.
so-
Let me
so-
tell everybody right now. I'm not that independent chick. I'm not that person that be like, I don't need no man. Let me tell y'all something. Yes, I do.
Right.
I'm right. Huh?
Right.
Don't
So,
get me
roll
wrong.
so
Roll that
the-
trash can all the way up the driveway.
I'm not
Yeah.
doing that.
Can when it's full.
you know
At
Yeah,
what's
night, knowing you gotta have your trash out in the morning, 10 o'clock at night. Damn, I gotta roll the trash.
women,
Yeah, don't know about
no matter how mad she is, she do that.
Huh?
I said, no matter how mad a woman can get, she ain't gonna never want to do that.
Hell no.
I'm here to tell you.
I ain't never heard a woman say, "I'm mad as hell. I'm about to go cut the grass."
Go shovel the snow.
Right? Nah.
Never.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna laugh at your ass. Go ahead.
They might make a snow.
So I
some
might sit
snowball, but
outside and drink a glass of wine while you cut the grass, but I'm not
Throw some
cutting
hot
the
water.
grass.
Throw some hot water out there. You know,
Come
that's
talk to
about
me.
it.
You gotta come talk to me nicely.
Right.
Yes.
But this is the so this is the answer.
Uh-huh.
So this is the
Wait a
answer.
minute. So, hold up. Which man is we talking about? Are we talking about the modern day man that stay home with the kids and cutting the grass, or the other man?
No, the modern man that's selling the kids, he gonna cut the grass anyway.
We gonna cut the grass.
Because it's
Oh, he
an
can't
agreement.
say nothing, Rich. He got just cut the grass in the grass.
Everybody should be cutting the grass,
The stay-at-home
especially
dad.
especially the man that's at home.
Everybody.
The man at home better be washing the dishes, washing
Everybody.
I wish I could tag my neighbor.
folding the clothes.
No, that's what we going back to the 50s and 40s and all that stuff when they had roles. Men cut the grass, women took care of the inside of the house.
All right, so now listen. So we answered that question right from the one and something Crystal. Don't want to slaughter her name. I didn't see it. But when a woman starts getting to thinking that she doesn't need a man, that she and all this other weird stuff,
Yeah, you gotta think
she always neglect what we have to offer
yeah.
as a man.
Wait a minute, no. With the Crystal,
Did you?
when a woman feel like she don't need a man, they get their feeling and act like little pussy. That's the problem.
Listen to me. I'm gonna tell you. Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this, Jude. Every man wants to feel needed.
We do.
It's in our nature. It's in our nature. It is. I mean, Jude is right.
But
It's
yeah,
in
it's
our
true.
nature to feel like we want.
We wanna
like
feel
we're
needed.
Right. If you've been around a man long enough and you got male friends, if he with a girl and he felt like that he's not needed around her, then he's going to leave.
I tell you what, any woman out there, any black woman out there who's watching the show, listening to the show, whatever, and you have a house, not an apartment,
Right.
Right.
You have a house. Do you cut your grass or do you pay someone to do it for you?
You still want to cut grass?
The point I'm making is these same women who call themselves independent boss bitches, but like, if you're such a boss bitch, why don't you cut your grass? Why do you pay a man to cut your grass for you? Why do you pay a man to cut your? Why don't you pay a woman to cut your grass? Why don't you pay a woman to cut your grass? I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
They're all in the landscapers out with. You feel
There
me?
is.
Yeah.
You ain't paying no woman landscaper.
Hell no.
If I would, if I gotta do it, yes, I would. If I don't have to do it, yes, I would.
When's the last time you did? When's the last time you did? When's the last time you did?
Honestly, I think the whole independent theme is like an ego trip.
It is.
Because like a lot of times they be in the ego. The ego gets big, and they like, hey, I don't need a man for this. I don't need a man for that. Okay, if you think you're lonely now, wait until the night.
Right. Exactly. No, so this is how it works. So the
Which for real, y'all the ones that can't have a growing old alone. That is show that it's
Listen, that's not true though, because most men die alone.
We die alone.
Damn.
Most men die alone. That's facts. We usually die alone.
But I will say this.
scared to die alone.
But I will say this.
I don't know about that.
It's more. It's
I'm
more
a man. Well, there's a man that said he don't cut his own grass, so he pays the money.
But he's not saying that he don't need a woman though.
He's in a different.
That's the difference. He not saying
he ain't saying nothing. You know,
he ain't say he don't need a woman nothing like that.
Right. What he did was get a service. All right. So, but this is my thing. How this all worked. So the independent woman was something that basically white women made up. Black women fell into it, and then they used that stereotype to like demonize you being a person who's resilient. Not only did they take that imagery, they took the imagery and put a negative spin on it. Once they did the negative spin, they just force-fed our community. The only time that we woke up and thought an independent woman was great if it was your mama. Everything else became what you would assume that she would be like, which means if she was overly aggressive, you would tell her like, "Yo, you need to go see some counseling to handle that shit," right? Which would definitely be an insult, right? Because most women are like, "I don't need counseling, I'm fine." No, you crazy. You need to go talk to somebody. So they painted that imagery of. So they painted the imagery of a woman who is strong, don't need a man, and then they took that and they put it in rap lyrics and they put it in songs. Wow. But as we come out of this, that's why I say these conversations are great. As we come out of this,
exactly, Marina.
Right? We understand that.
I knew I had to be a white man.
Right. So everything was so when we come out of this, we actually learning that.
Marina, I'm with you. I need somebody to carry the groceries on.
Yeah. So
I need a man around.
Yeah, right. So some of the propaganda that they fed
us.
All
the ladies just say that out loud tonight.
I need a man. Look, I will scream it. If he's gonna come, he gonna come. I know I need one. I'm not that strong. I'm not that. Listen, I need y'all.
Yeah, but listen, what I'm saying.
Probably one that's like 6 feet.
See, but I'm happy that
you need a man.
I don't move my house. I call my brother.
Thank you.
I'm not going like a dog. I'm not going like a dog. I don't like doing shit. And when I need somebody to kill a spider, I need a motherfucker to come kill a spider.
That's what killed me right there. Is women, they not scared of nothing. I swear, a dude could pull a gun out and they won't be scared. But let a spider be in the room.
You guys are right. They bite.
Be running like the Flash.
Yes. Listen, I'm that one. Jude to tell you, me and Jude done left it. We almost quit a job. Over us. We both ran out the office. This is not a game.
But you know what? The thing about it, white women started feminism, and I asked black women, y'all latched on to this white feminism. What has feminism done for you, other than get y'all to hate black men?
But I don't hate no black men.
No, I'm saying, but a lot. When I see feminists, black feminists, it's like they hate men. It's like they hate men. It's like they hate men. I mean, I'm saying that's something white women put together. Black women jumped on, but I'm like, what has feminism done for you? It's like affirmative action. It has helped white women.
So let me help you. So let me help you from a woman's perspective. My name is Shahzad.
How you gonna give a woman's perspective and you a man?
I'm about to tell you. Listen, you let me finish. I can finish.
Mike is a jack of all trades, man.
So it's a woman called Shahzad Ali. So she wrote a book called
Mike, you see me?
The Black Woman's Guide to Explaining to Understanding the Black Man. She wrote this in the 80s. Check it out. And she was getting a lot of flack. She's on YouTube, so she was getting a lot of flack. She said, if we knew that feminism would lead us to like loneliness, abstinence, lesbianism, a whole bunch of other stuff that she said, that then the result of feminism have created a void, right? When she explained it and when she put out her video, when she put out her book, she was getting boycotted. Like women were coming to her show, to her speaking shows, boycotting this book. So you know me, I got the book. I had to read it.
I got to get it too myself.
but I'm learning that this was all forced to us, right? So this was all forced to us, right? And then once we came, now that we're coming out of it, we're asking our women,
Mm-hmm.
do you need us, right? But we're finding that now most women have a price tag attached to a man,
Mm.
right? Because I follow social media, so this high valued man and all this so weird stuff that they kept talking about for about good 5 years. I never understood it, still don't understand it, but it's a price tag on a man. And I watch Kevin Samuels, I watch Alpha Man, I
What's
watch a
up,
whole bunch
Tony?
of
That's my
YouTube.
cousin.
Yes, I watch a whole bunch of YouTubers, and the women kept saying like, I wouldn't date a plumber.
Who wouldn't?
I wouldn't date a man that worked in construction, right?
They
And
make
I
good-
thought it was odd. I was odd at first because to hear women with a price number set that a man has to make in order for him to
I
date
make no money.
right.
seems weird to me, right? Seems
Right.
weird to me
Yep.
because the professions that they would date don't make six figures.
So this would be my thing. So do you think that comes from like you just clearly heard when you made that statement, Jude, and I was like, shit, they make good decent money.
Right.
Well, my thing is, I would consider that ignorance on the part of a person that only looks for people who do a certain type of work, thinking like
Right.
it's quick money, or you thinking those are the only avenues where good money could be made. See, that says a lot about the mindset of that particular type of woman that you are referring to, which takes me back to what I said earlier. We gotta keep in mind of the type of women that we're talking about.
But
Yeah, I'm
that's
gonna separate the two.
that's generational.
That's generation.
And that's also us as a people, because we think that people that got money is the ones that's flashy cars. The people that really got money do not spend money like that.
No.
They invest in their money and they very quiet. They're not really loud. They don't really have the nicest of everything. They got safe cars. They got small. I mean, they have a house. They're responsible with that money.
So
You would like the woman that y'all just talked about that thinks that the man that's a plumber that doesn't have money, they wouldn't even know a man that has money if they seen him in the street.
right. So this was the question. So he says, and I go back and watch a whole bunch of YouTubers because I'm an IT person. So it's funny. So the guy asked them, "Would you date a guy that's in IT?" Right. So the girl said, "Why would I date a nerd?"
Wow.
So she instantly canceled out.
She's a cornball.
Right. She
You're
instantly
trying to
canceled.
be with us later in life, ladies. All the nerd women
So listen. So you basically, and it was 4 of them. So you basically counted out
Cornball.
a whole career line.
Say cornball.
Yeah. So you erased this, and this was facts. Like she erased a whole line of eligible black men,
Right?
instantaneously. Like,
Right.
Hold up.
and you can't take it back because it's on YouTube.
I know y'all asking the men questions, but for the ladies, what do y'all think about women that think that way? What if y'all had a platform like y'all have a platform now? What do y'all say to the women that think that way, that claim that they're independent, that have that mindset, and it's kind of like spreading amongst young women that's growing up today?
Can I ask a question first?
How you gonna ask a question?
No, because what is the what we talking about? You know, I'm a little delayed at the moment.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Delayed. Okay.
She said delayed.
Go ahead.
Now, what are we referring to before I answer, so I can answer like in a good way? What you saying?
What do y'all think about the women who basically eliminated a whole line of men based on like being a nerd or being a plumber?
like she based on what's her perception of a person working in that industry is.
It's a lack of information. It's really like you looking at like say you younger lady that's around you that's acting this way, and she's talking about certain things, and you overhear her saying this, but then you're trying to school her on some things. What would you say to her?
Okay, so that's a good question because I can actually speak on that from experience of current. I've had this conversation with like friends, associates, people that I work with. So I look at it to say, what's up with you? You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes, a lot of times when you go to seek out these particular things, it's kind of like, okay, that's what you want, but who's to say that this person wants you? You get what I mean? So it's kind of like, even Mike has made posts about this before. I don't always agree with his wording, but the message is very clear. Like you're seeking out this, but who's to say that you can accommodate or this particular person wants you when you have all of these expectations of, oh, this is your whole checklist. So I look at it like even with your checklist, you should also have your flaws, where you're wrong, where you're doing certain things of acceptance that somebody might not like. So if that's the only thing that you're going for, my thing is when you strip all the money and material things away, do you still like the person? That's the one thing I ask. So people always like, oh, I'm not into money, I'm not into this, I'm not into that. You are.
Yeah.
Because if
Yeah,
everything you go to continuously goes back to the materialistic piece, just say you want somebody to take care of you. Don't say you looking for something meaningful and you're looking for love because you're not. You're just looking for somebody. You're trying to be a dependent, which is okay
Hey,
if that's the thing. But at the end of the day, when you strip all of that away, and that person can't, and you can't say what it is you like about the person, y'all still don't like each other.
mm,
So the thing is, so when if anything, because shit happens, if this man was a lose or the bank lost his money, you got him. And I
hey, I
think
want
that's
to say something.
what some of you men should start asking.
I want to say something. Tony Samuels, that's my cousin right there. So,
Okay. Yeah.
hey, check it out. But I want
Yeah,
to say
Tony, I don't
this.
like the blood neither.
I want,
Wait a
yeah,
minute, wait a minute.
I, I,
Before you answer that, before you say that, I just want to say I don't care those kind of women because they make the other they make independent women look bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
In a sense. Like you want people you got these standards and you want a certain type of dude, but you ain't even you blocking your blessings, not even
Mm-hmm.
realizing it. Like because you're not opening yourself up, like you close minded. But at the same time, that ties into some of the stuff that Mike was saying, like with you dealing with certain type of people, not being able to trust and somebody hurt you and now you got these walls of independent you don't need to do, but that's just ignorance on that and I don't like those kind of women. But
hey,
I just want to get it
like
up.
Tony was saying that hate men and feminism are not together. I'm 58. I remember Anita Bryant. She's basically the mother of feminism, white feminism.
Okay.
Black women under her got zero respect. Black women didn't start getting their respect until when? Queen Latifah. When she started saying black.
Ladies,
But you know what? She never said bash black men. Who started the feminist narrative that like Mike was saying, the hell with black men. Let's just be women and be together. Who started that?
The white man.
Thank you. It took a black woman who wasn't even a bop. She was hip hop. Queen Latifah, Money Love, MC Light. They were like, yeah, but let's love our men.
Mm-hmm.
Feminism was never meant for black women. If it was, when Anita Bryant was talking her stuff back in the 70s, and I remember her as a teenager, she'd included black men, black women. She did not include black women. Susan B. Anthony couldn't stand black people. All that is in the lineage of feminism. Why did black women jump to feminism when they never even wanted black women in the beginning? The women that started the Black Lives Movement are feminists. But you know what? They started it, but they made their money and they disappeared. But all them women started hating black men.
All right, so let me tell you how it all works. So we can I can do the history part. I can do the history part. So this is how it worked. So feminism.
After Mike, I'm gonna let Kiara go.
Feminism wasn't working, right? In the 70s, it gained traction for white women to fight for equal pay and all that other stuff, and then they went back to their husbands. But how they pushed it is they brought in welfare and social services, and that's how they got the man out of the house. As of 2022, Any woman that's screaming independent right now hasn't learned that independence, to be independent and feminist, is a failed movement. Okay, the fact of the easiest proof is that single mothers are tired. You know what I'm saying? So a woman will say, "I'm independent this, I'm independent that," but if you go to any single mother and say, "Well, do you need a break?" You know what I'm saying? Do you need a break? Do you want me to get these kids? Boy, they're dropping kids off so fast that your hair grow back.
Affirmative action was made for black people, but white women are benefiting from it.
Right. So what has happened is that we are now coming out of this, and I'm liking it. That's why I like these conversations.
Yeah.
It's not really bad that you know how to make your own money. Cool. Most of the time, we as men don't benefit from you making your own money anyway. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna pay the bills anyway. I don't need your money.
Hey, look, y'all money is y'all money, and our money is our money too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yours is yours.
Your money is your money, and my money is your money. That's how it. That's how.
What you say? Hold on. What you say is generational. All men ain't got this.
You just want to say everybody always got to talk about
that's
race.
My brother right there, y'all.
The black woman goes so hard. Wait a minute, just hear me out. The black woman goes so hard because everybody is against the black woman, especially the black man. And
no, we haven't. And you know what? In history, we've been.
No, Mike, you gotta hit. No, that's a female point of view. Like we listening to your perspectives all that night, and I said this before. I'm just glad somebody else said it.
We don't see the black men out there the way when the police out here killing the black men. Women stand up to that shit, but when Sandra Bland and shit happen, we don't see that same type of stuff. When a black woman hold up, let me finish. From a woman's point of view, when a black woman get in office, every man in history try to tear her ass apart. Every fucking man in history. It does not matter. So black independent women go so hard because we have to. Because everybody just does everything they can to turn us the fuck down. Especially black men, and we have been programmed to do it to ourselves. That's why the woman today is the woman that they are today. That's why everybody sees the young girls advertise and use these niggas because their mothers have taught them. Don't be out here dependent on no fucking body. Be independent. The man in society has created the independent woman. But let's think where everything else they talk about race. The way the black independent woman is treated is worse than any independent woman out here. The white man appreciates his woman. They will stay at home and take care of the family, and y'all will laugh at it. But that man will work a career, put this woman through school, and then retire, take care of the home, and let her go ahead and it's not that it can't work. It's just that we don't make it work for ourselves because we too independent. We're too aggressive. We too much. We don't do nothing right for y'all in a sense as a woman. That's my opinion as a woman.
Hold on, before Mike go, I want to say one thing. So keep in mind, you got 2 black women, very well melanated black women. So explaining this to you, you also got to take into account 2 things. This is proven, and this is also experience. I know Mike don't like to go with experiences and whatever. You cannot tell people what they encountered or what's truth or what they can prove as factual because they've lived it. And when you talk about women who've experienced this throughout life, and we do have to prove no matter what people may think or say, black women are very much targeted. We're very much disrespected. If we go back to the beginning when I asked about independent women, nobody says she's strong, she's resilient, she's all of these things. The first thing y'all went to was the money hungry, the labels.
I didn't say that.
So that's no. I'm just saying, like in general, when we hear that, when we talked about like the social media and all of those things, that's a depiction, and that's why I said a lot of independent women are very humble. They move in silence. They do a whole bunch of things. So all I'm saying is, what Jude is speaking from a sense of passion, and I can personally relate to that. And but sometimes,
I agree with her. I agree, but like I was saying, people are following this narrative people found this narrative through the loudest ones are the ones who are heard the most. I'm not saying most independent women are trash. The loud ones, the bad bitches, the boss bitches, the trash ones. Those are the ones who are influencing the other ones.
I just
That's what
want
I'm
to say,
saying.
I want to say what you was saying was correct, but I also want us not to forget that we going against each other, saying the men is the reason why women are treated a certain kind of way, but it's the white man.
Hold
It's
on.
a
Hold
whole
on. Hold
system,
on.
it's a whole system that's created to make a woman want to be more independent and not
So
depend.
let me ask this: how
Break
many
down the
of our
black
men
man. Go ahead.
actually? No, this is a simple question.
Mhm.
When every time when black women express ourselves, hold on, G, when we express ourselves in that way, whether you agree or disagree, how many times has a black man rearranged and said, "Oh no, it's not about that." What we are trying to do is get our men to listen to us. We hear y'all struggle. We support, we do whatever we got to do, but when it comes to us, it's quick to be swept under a rug or like, no, 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 that's not it, or this is that and the third. No, we telling y'all we need y'all.
It's no
This
it's no
independent women
and
in
y'all
certain ways.
we're in the same boat. We're black
Right.
people, black women, black men. We're in the same boat because we get too deep into us, me and you. We're both the enemy in this situation.
Yeah.
We're both fighting the same stuff y'all going through. We're going through it too. We
Because you know
y'all
what we hear?
we're
I don't
going
mean to
through.
cut Rich off, but you know what we hear? As many as y'all, is just as many people just as many black women that say y'all need to back us up. Do you know how many women we hear that say y'all ain't shit? We don't need y'all. We hear double the amount. If
Y'all
I could
ready?
go to any thread and say, if I go to any thread with black women, I'll always find out what black woman that says, I love our black men, support us. But for every one black woman, see, that's why y'all gotta walk in our shoes. For every one black woman we hear that says we love y'all, support us, we hear 5 black women that say, y'all ain't shit, we don't need y'all. That's what we hear all day. Go on social media. It's all day. Men, black men don't do this. Black men don't do that. We don't. That's all we hear all day. That's all we hear. Like TD Jake says something that Kevin Samuels said. Everyone praise TD Jakes, but bash Kevin Samuels for saying the same exact thing. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
We try, a lot of us try to support black women, but we have, for every one black woman that we want to support, you got 5 that tell us we don't need y'all.
Can I go? Can I go?
Yeah, my bad, Mike. Go ahead.
Intentionally, nah, handle business. I'm done. Okay, it's not a
I really want
time.
to let everybody go and I'm gonna go last.
Yeah, there's not a time in history that the black man has left a black woman. Period. There's no time in our community where we have abandoned our women at all. Okay? There's only one time in history where the black woman chose her survival over being with a black man, and that was during the 1970s, the feminist movement, and the hiring of the federal jobs, accepting women applications over black men. Okay, so now we're gonna get to what we're talking about. We are in the same boat. The only difference is even if I get a federal job, that does not take the place of my woman. Okay, it has been proven that when a woman get a better job, she end up choosing that job over
What a man.
us. It was proven. It was proven. This is facts, right? The man
Mm-hmm.
put out a mandate. I forgot the man's name. I'll give it to you later. He wrote Richard Nixon and said this. He said, I cannot believe that the black woman would choose the benefits that we're giving her over having a family. And if
I
we
remember.
do
I
not
remember that. I remember that.
address this problem, then this will haunt us in generations to come. He wrote it in a mandate to Richard Nixon. It has never been a time where we as black men who said, I don't need a black woman. Nigga, that's all we need. The problem is that we are here now at this junction, and we're asking our black women that we've been shut out jobs. The union blocked us the first time. Okay, they end up shutting down the plants. They end up shutting down the steel mills. They end up sending half-out jobs that we can make a decent living without a high school diploma feasible. Okay, we are in a position where we keep moving forward. But in order for us to keep moving forward, we still have to understand that our relationship is still built on what we are designed to be. Okay.
Right.
Majority of the time, we get caught up in thinking that whatever a person does or whatever a person gains, if it doesn't affect me personally in this struggle of blackness, right?
Right.
That is a problem. Black women have never not have always been unprotected. Even during slavery, they still had the most pull. Okay. Even now, when you talking about protesting, y'all have the most pull. Y'all have the most pull. They will fuck me up.
Quick.
I know because I got fucked up during the Baltimore riots when we was out there. So,
Me too.
so it's always been a woman in every protest and every riot who's always stood up to the police. There's paintings of women, even in the 1968 Watts riots. They have a woman out there in Baltimore City. They got one with a woman holding up a gas mask when they gas masks is on when they gas is on Fulton Avenue. Is it always been our women who have to always be the voice for us when we were voiceless? So now that we have a voice as men, we're letting you know that out of all those times that you didn't see us, we was always with y'all. Because majority of us know that we are targets, right? This is when the disdain comes from a black woman where I have to compete for a job and they give my job to a black woman and I'm qualified for the job. Only because it's two things that a white man has stated that if you give a black woman a job, she won't go back and teach other people how to get the job. And that's proven. That's a proven researchable fact.
Yep.
When a black man learns a job, we're willing to I teach everybody how to get in the IT. Everybody for free. Okay.
That's how I do it being the chef. Same thing.
So we go out and we come back and teach what I ask every woman who's a CNA, GNA, a nurse, who's in the federal government, who's a police officer. What have you taught your offspring in your field? You see what I'm saying? And you can tell because if you go to the football field, you can see all the little dudes out there running the ball. But what if you taught them in your field? That means from your daughter, from your son to your nephews. Like what if you sat down and said, listen, I do this. Do you want to learn this? Majority of the time, a woman will learn something, and y'all have seen it. Y'all honestly get on with a great job. She ain't putting you on. She ain't telling you how to get the job. She ain't pulling no strings. When a brother get on, we try to grab as many brothers we can.
We're quick to put somebody on.
I think it's no us without us. It's no
us.
It's no women. Women is no men. We need each other, and especially us people of color. Like Mike was saying, we need to just focus. And I think a comment said that as well. We need to focus on ourselves. You know, all these outside forces are built in this country to separate us. Everything is built, like Mike said, systematically to separate the black family. The most powerful, I think it was Tank that said this. He said they rather us put out records about killing and fighting each other. He said, but you know what's the most dangerous thing that they don't want us to sing about? Black love. He said black love is the most powerful thing ever. And he said that they can't stand even the record business because they know how influential music is. Yep. They don't even want the singers to sing about black love.
Yep. So look how united we were in the 80s and 90s. We were
Can I say one thing and then I'm gonna leave it alone? Because I've been wanting to say it for a minute and I've been holding it. No, I agree with everybody up here. And especially the comment about like stop blaming outsiders and really focus on us. And I always speak on unity, getting back to the village, all of those things. In several shows since I've been doing this, nobody can say that I haven't. But my thing is, when I said the voice of the black woman, it's always a rebuttal when we say how we feel, no matter how passionately we say how we feel. And if we saying this is how we feel and this is what we need from y'all, more support, it shouldn't be the okay, but okay, maybe it may not be the masses, but for this woman, this is what she's telling you that she needs from you. She knows you directly and fluently. So that, to me, that's how we can start to mend some things. We got to listen to each other and what we need in order to unify and be better. So it just sounds more like that's the main thing of what we were talking about. Like, soon as
Right.
a woman that looks like me or look like Jude voice their opinion, is, yeah, but that's the problem. Black women always want to da 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 da. So we gotta get loud, we gotta get boisterous, we gotta get passionate, and then now we bitches. Now we definitely being taken the wrong way. So all we saying is just listen to what we saying. We not saying that y'all have completely walked away, but we saying that sometimes when we stand until we don't feel like it. And I can say there's been many a times I felt like it. I know other women who may feel the same. You cannot negate how a women feel. We're not the masses, no,
Hey,
but you
hey,
do have
Coco,
women that feel that way.
check this out.
But it's true though.
But you
That's
know,
why
I
I said,
love you and Jude, though, right?
but you got to understand that black men got beat down so much, so now we talking.
But I, but I,
You know what I'm
but I,
saying? We
I don't
talking
want
now.
you to think. I don't want you to think. I don't want you to think that negative feeling of not being able to, your voice not being heard. I want you to really understand where that criticism is really coming from. 9 times out of 10, it may be coming from some of the brothers, but 9 times out of 10, it's not coming from people that look like us. They don't accept
Hold
black
on,
women.
that's it. But see, that's where I'm trying to go, and I'm trying to explain it to you. When we spoke, we just spoke completely on our community,
This our
right?
community,
Right,
okay,
And it's,
right?
right.
but I'm just saying, if this is what we hear from our people, and then even if you want to go to social media and you want to go to all these other entities, when you see them speaking of a black, a woman of dark hue, melanated woman, what's the first thing that it's always negative? It's always something really ghetto, really ratchet, we're really not celebrated in a way. So we say the disrespect, it comes in all forms.
I mean, I'm not
And
gonna
I
say that.
think
What I'm
that's
gonna
what
say
you're
is,
trying to go.
all right. So I'm gonna tell you this. So the most unprotected person in the United States is a black man, right? So the hardest thing to do is to hear you being attacked by your woman, right? This is something my dad told me. Said you got to understand that, yo, in order for the slave master to stop whipping us, our women had to fall on our backs. In order for them not to hang you, your wife had to cry. In order for the clan to not drag you out, your wife had to do some things to save you, right? Y'all have always protected us, right? So now you got to look at the generations where we're stumbling because now we have to learn how to protect y'all. This is probably the first generation from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s that we can actually have the right to protect y'all freely. Like we can actually go get a gun registered, license to carry, and not have to face any consequences protecting you. Okay, that's a short period of time. Yeah, okay, that's a short period of time. You know what I'm saying? It's a short period of time since y'all have been protecting us. You know what I'm saying? So y'all have been protecting us since some of us got off the boat. Okay, so that's been the 1600s even to today. That's a long practice of protecting the black man. The black man has only been able to protect his woman from the 80s to now.
To now. Yep.
Because you got to look at the 20s, 40s, 50s, 60s. We got killed with no prejudice. We were, I mean, Billie Holiday sung it. You know what I'm saying? Strange Fruit. It's about us being hung from trees.
Yep.
So this is the only time, and I want y'all to like bear with us. This is not an excuse. This is just facts. This is the only time that we can protect y'all freely. And it's hard for men who say, "Well, damn, yo, we getting our chance, and she's still kicking our ass." You know what I'm saying? It's a double-edged sword because to us, this is all new to us. For y'all mother's been doing this. You didn't, you know what I'm saying? It's just come natural. Well, we didn't have a voice during slavery. We didn't have a voice we had a voice during Reconstruction, and then they cut that short. And then we didn't have a voice in Jim Crow. We have a voice in the 80s, 90s, and now. That's a short period of time for us to get this shit right. We need a lot more time to get it right. Now, we still hurt because what you're saying is that you can't protect us. We know this. We know this. We know this more than anybody else. That's why when brothers get with girls, they become animals in the streets. Like, you're gonna talk to my girl that way, you done knock the guy out. All he said was your girl look good. And then by the time it registers in his mind that it was a compliment, she all excited, like, baby, did you hear what he said? And he like, no, he shouldn't have stepped to you that way. because it's practice. This is practice. They're like, this is real world practice. They're not letting us get a rest. They're not letting us get a break. And when I hear black women, I go, but y'all was running shit on plantations. Like, yo, Virginia had to pass a law against white slave owners not to kill y'all.
Right.
Okay, they had to pass a law for the wife of the slave owner not to kill black women, because they realized the black woman has so much more power than what she had on the plantation. So this is new to us. This protection shit is new. You gotta give us some time. Yeah, okay. All of us ain't gonna get it.
Okay.
You close the show. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna close the show. Just say like, hey, thank you for tuning in.
Because I'm gonna say my bill, then you know you do your thing. So first, thank you to Boss Man Rich for letting us go over our time today. That was a really good one. We probably gotta bring this one back so we can maybe dissect this a little bit more. I think there's a lot of important points that we need to get to. Again, I want to thank everybody for listening, watching. If you haven't done so, download the Ham Radio app. It's free. If you got a Roku TV and type of device, you can download Ham TV or go to hamradio.org. You can always watch live. If you're joining me via Facebook, thank you guys so much for commenting, watching, and all that good stuff. And then we're going to let Boscoe take me where I got to go. Oh, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Jude.
Well, she just said what I was going to say, y'all. Thank you for my family for tuning in today. Thank you for everything. Watch out for the mixtape coming in October. The main attraction, Boscoe from the Bronx. Coco, Kazual Konvo, and we out, y'all. Peace. Hit the switch, Rich.
Peace.